playing Dark Souls because that's apparently how that works in that game as well.
What, you play Dark Souls and it's light? Because that's kind of contradictory.
Because time's convoluted in that game series, which means
that game series is convoluted.
Yeah,
That's true.
But apparently, if you apply light, time speeds up, and because it's getting dark, so time speeds down. It's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome to the Bureau of Very Acceptable Content podcast.
Love how you
One
always
day we're
stumble
going to
on
say
that
that
name.
quickly.
I was thinking like, oh, maybe this time I'll get it, but no.
Bureau of Barely Acceptable Content.
Yeah, that's the
it.
one. Do you want to introduce it next time?
No.
All right.
No, you got this.
Anyway, I'm joined by these people. Ollie, the Warhawk of Chogoris. What's your face, Jared?
The Drake
It's only
of,
the 6th episode.
Drake of Nocturne.
The Hammer of Salvation.
Yeah.
What, really?
Yeah, that's one of his titles.
He's Welsh.
I lay down the hammer.
And I'm the King of Terrors.
That makes
Pally,
sense.
by the way.
Wait, you Conrad Kurz?
Where we haven't.
Oh, that's the theme this week.
It'll be music then. Okay.
It was all the
She's being mute. You're eating.
A shadow can be full good.
the Silent Martyr, shall we
The
say?
That's good. Yeah.
Anyway,
Who's the
that's
Silent
good.
Martyr again?
It's in the Tanith Ghost of
right.
Tanith.
Yeah,
stuff.
Ghost of Tanith, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, that was fun.
Right, yeah.
That was interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting
Cold up.
introduction.
Love it.
As you can see, we're not really prepared again. We're just doing our usual random bullshit.
Well, that's how this
Do we ever
thing
prepare?
works. No,
No, we
I
shouldn't be
was gonna say.
prepared.
I prepare like 30 minutes before.
Oh, there's a picture of Willem Dafoe smiling. It really freaking me out.
Yeah, that is Koopy.
Well, then we put something on a thing.
Well, it is one of the
Oh, is Willem on a thing? A level Willem on a thing.
Yeah. Shall we talk about our weeks first again, or do we have a topic we want to discuss?
Actually, you know what? Actually, I got stuff.
Oh
Yeah,
my
alright.
god.
All right. So this week I went to see a band,
Oh yeah, you
I
did.
went to London, and
Oh.
you know what?
So we're doing the
I'm-
week thing actually.
I'm not going to be like the band is Man with a Mission. They were amazing. It was the best gig I ever went to. But I nearly didn't go because I'm about to badmouth a company.
Which
so
company?
I decided to save myself £50 from the train,
Yeah,
which would have cost me £60 for a return. So I'm going to badmouth the crap out of National Rail as well.
sure.
That's just fair enough.
But so I decided to save myself some money and go with Megabus.
Yeah,
£10 return. Could not be happier. That's amazing.
yeah. I was considering doing that when I go to London.
Yeah. And here's why you might want to rethink that.
Why?
Because I waited at the bus stop for 30 minutes,
Yeah.
and just as I went to look at my phone and looked up again, it's probably about 20 seconds involved in that process.
Yeah.
The Megabus drove right past me. didn't even stop. Didn't even slow down.
Well,
And
how
I
did you
just
get back?
watched it go past with a look of absolute shock.
So we have something
And
similar.
horror.
So we have something similar in Finland because our bus system used to be over expensive. Like it was 45 euros to get from Helsinki to Pori, which is like
These are imaginary places.
300
don't worry.
kilometers, maybe just a little bit below that.
What's that in real?
In real metric
I don't
terms.
know. I don't lose your outdated imperial system.
Imperialism for life.
But anyway,
Yeah, fast.
so we had another company come in, so private. They started charging like lower prices, so like €5, €9, depending
It's a
on.
bit of a difference.
Yeah, there is a bit of a
Kind of
difference.
an undercutting the whole company.
Exactly. So they had to bring their prices down. And now it's better.
Is that better? Yeah.
Okay.
But the system, the buses work like the national buses.
Yeah.
So they come to actually the bus stops and they have to be there for like 15 minutes before they set off.
Oh, that's
Wow.
nice.
If you ever want to visit this fictional place and hear more about it, talk to Pauli.
You know what Britain should also get? We should make them make Megabus have a complaints line,
Yeah.
because currently all you can do is write them an email, and they promise to get back to you within at least 2 weeks. And I was mad.
Yeah.
So I went
Should have
and
been
I
filming.
wanted to shout at someone, but I couldn't. All I could do was write a very strongly worded letter that took probably.
Yes, sir. I wish to complain in some possible terms about the condition of your megabus
So
company.
instead of saving myself money, I then had to drive down to London, and it cost me more.
More
so-
than the
but
train
then-
trip would have been.
Probably would. Yeah, no, it was like I probably used about £30 of fuel, so like £10 return. I've lost 20 quid essentially.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, fuck Megabus.
Did you ever get the charge as well into London?
No,
Oh.
no. It was he lives on the outskirts, so I just
Oh,
parked
okay,
up
so
beside
yeah,
his.
fair
It was
enough.
fine.
That's lucky.
But yeah, the band was amazing though. I
Mm.
highly recommend going to see them. Best gig of my life.
Sure.
Yeah, especially when you told us that they actually do a load of anime stuff, like Log
Yeah,
Rise and stuff.
yeah.
And I was like,
They,
oh my god.
They do the opening to
Season 1.
of
Log Horizon.
Yeah.
that.
Database.
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 Living in the database.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway.
But they also do the opening to Seven Deadly Sins, which is on Netflix. And they have like literally just released a song like 2 days ago, and it's already been made the Japanese rugby team song. And it's like just you want to dance to it.
Japan has a rugby.
Yeah, they do.
Oh yeah, I know they do. I just
They're
Thanks,
not.
Shannon. All
They
Blacks.
have the best song though, so shut up.
Yeah, but the Japanese rugby team gets
But
pulled on by
Kiwi-
every other team in the world.
But the Kiwis have a haka dance.
The haka is
Oh
impressive.
yeah, you're not gonna beat the haka, but like,
No.
she's from South Africa. She ain't got no haka.
Yeah, sure. No, I always support the All Blacks when I was in the Hong Kong rugby sevens.
Oh, you support the
Team
best,
that
the best
wins.
team.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
That's a
the
shock.
team, hang on. I think if you actually look at rugby terms in the recent times, who's beaten the All Blacks recently? I think Wales, Scotland, England, France.
So
Isn't that like the first time in like 10 years though?
Yeah, but the All Blacks are on a losing streak at the moment, so...
They're
Yeah,
probably
so
giving you
what?
guys a chance to get bored. They were like, let them have some hope and
Actually,
then
no.
we'll crush it.
Actually, the real reason is recently because the All Blacks had a lot of team members retire because of the age, and they're having new people come in. So it's more of a they're creating a new lineup of younger players.
yeah,
so
that's fine.
You
it's
didn't
just
think
an
this was going to be a
experience
sports
at the
podcast?
Pardon?
Didn't think this was going to be a sports podcast?
No, I didn't think either, but I'm enjoying
Wow.
this. I like rugby.
Look at that, he's late again.
Oh yeah, Matt's here, the traveller.
Yes, I have arrived once more.
Where have you been?
That was an
Church,
Ontarian reference.
dedication.
Nice.
Oh yeah, how did it go?
It was lovely actually, really nice ceremony.
Oh nice.
But you guys continue, I'll be back in a second.
Sure.
I also, yesterday, literally,
Yeah.
I finished reading Ready Player One. It's not terrible.
The guy replaces like decent
He
use
was-
of language for references to gaming.
Have you not noticed that a lot of my humour is reference humour?
Well, join the club, but I still don't appreciate it in original format.
Right.
God.
There's a battle scene in there, and they're making a film, so you'll see it. But like,
Sure.
it's a pretty baller battle scene. Like, and I get that he's just kind of name dropping a lot of stuff.
That's like 90% of that book.
90% of that book is just, hey, look, you remember this, don't you?
Yeah.
But I appreciate that, in
I don't because it's
'Cause
too
it only-
outdated at the moment.
it only took me like 3 hours to read, so I didn't really.
Yeah, I know.
Oh what, is it that easy a book?
The problem is with that is referential like stuff is that it outdates itself really quickly. Therefore, it will not have the same impact as, let's say, Shakespeare. Because
Oh, I'm not going to say that I'm going to be reading this book in 40 years' time.
well, yeah.
But like,
No one should be reading
if
it now.
you have £4, because I got it for £4, and you
Alright.
have an afternoon to yourself, it's not terrible.
I'd rather read the book that I've been reading, started reading yesterday, and I'm now already quite invested into it, which is Praetorian at Dawn. If you want a good read, that keeps you excited from the beginning to about quarter of the way through so far now. Praetorian at Dawn is a really good sci-fi book from Black Library.
Yeah, it's
You heard
decent.
it here first. It'll keep you interested for the first quarter of the book.
I've
At
only
least.
got that far, and I'm so enthralled by it already. I'm
Oh, I see a
literally
design problem with that setup over there. No, I see a design problem we have. Yeah, anyway.
So,
What else did you
what is
do?
that? Is that like the 69th book in the series now? 80?
No, it's
16
like
up?
30
What the-
or 40 of something.
158?
Jared, it's because you don't want to
39th.
read these books.
39th out of 47 by the looks of it.
No, it's like, is that 41 or 42 at the
I
moment?
just
I'll
read
have a look.
47.
Yeah, but there's new ones.
Look,
47
Oh, yeah.
books.
47 books.
It is 47 bucks. Whoops.
But the thing is, you've got to give it to them. Black Library are writing a fantastic series.
You've
of
got to
books.
give it to them. They've drawn a lot of blood out of that stone.
But every single book is unique and new, and it's not sticking to the same thing. They are.
It's like
They all
Cypress
may be
King
about space
novels, but
marines,
it
but
is-
the thing is, they're all talking about different factors and facets of this whole core universe. You are invested into. I'm invested into. Paoli's into. Everyone's invested into. That most people in this house are invested into, apart from maybe Sharon.
What?
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
invested
you
in
keep
this.
up to
You
date.
can say
No,
yeah.
Now it's a book series that you
Would
want.
say she probably wouldn't invest.
What's it called?
The
Horus Heresy.
It's the Warhammer
Marines.
30,000.
I've read one of them.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Which one did you get?
I don't know, I got bullied into buying it, so I bought it.
You've bought
You
the
just said you
first
read it,
Horus
though.
Heresy book.
Oh, Horus Rising.
I sold it to you.
No, you didn't.
Did I not?
No.
It was free at some point.
No, it was a glasses dude
Oh.
thingy at Games Workshop, and he was like, "You should really get this." And
Oh.
he left me like 5 minutes to have a look, and then he was like, "Are you getting it?" And I just felt pressured. So
Who was that?
Who do you think?
Cheltenham or Gloucester.
No.
Cheltenham.
There you go.
Yeah,
Okay,
we go.
yeah, that narrows it
Don't
down.
have to name names, but now everyone knows.
We're not going to make
And it's
voices
like
opinions on it.
So I just wasted 20 quid on a book.
£10
and I didn't even
nowadays,
enjoy it.
unless you got hardback.
Hardback.
Says the
Oh,
one playing.
Why
God.
did you do that?
Oh, we should shoot
He
him.
made you get a hardback.
They're treating them these days because they want softbacks because no one buys hardbacks.
Yeah.
That's too expensive anyway.
But I'm a book lover, so I need it.
Yeah.
Alright. Anyway, what else did you do, Jaren?
No, okay.
No, we're still only a week, unless you finished.
No. Did I watch a film?
Did you watch a film?
Did
Did
I
you
watch a
watch?
film?
Did you watch a particular film we've been talking about earlier?
Black Panther?
Oh, did I do that this week or was that last week?
That was this week.
This week.
Was it?
Yeah, it was this
Tuesday.
week for you to watch
Okay.
it because you took your partner out.
Oh, yeah. I liked it.
I loved it. I loved it.
What?
Actually,
Don't get grumbly.
we can get into it now because we didn't last week.
Yeah,
So,
well, okay, spoilers.
If you don't want to know what happens in Black Panther, so skip
Hold
about.
on, I'm going to start a timer. So what minute are we at now?
We're at 11:13.
Okay, so I'm going to start a timer for 6 minutes. So
Yeah.
jump to minute 19 and then we'll get back into it.
You mean 17?
Yes, maths.
Jared
Actually,
doesn't say that.
just jump to 19 actually because we might have a while.
Yeah.
But yes, let's go.
Do
Right.
it now.
I would give this film an 8 out of 10 because I
Same.
liked the composition. A couple of shots I don't agree with at all, just in terms of the fact that we went from like really dark to suddenly shockingly bright, and me and Tiff both went, ah, our
Tiff and
eyes.
I.
Tiff and I both went, ow, our eyes.
They also used that street like 3 times.
Yeah.
The same street in Wakanda 3 times. Was really weird.
Yeah.
I mean, they spent a lot of money in that set. They
well,
really had to
yeah,
get that
sure.
money.
The really old CGI for the fight scenes, which is like Batman.
Only
or
the last
not
one, though.
Spider-Man.
The earlier ones,
Yeah.
like that one we jumped in the Busan city in Korea. That when he flips over the car, that was amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then suddenly when he's doing the magnetic train thing,
Yeah,
like I was
But
like, this
you've
looks
got
a
to
bit crap.
yeah.
you've got to consider this, that it might be that they're running out of budget and they decided to put that scene in. And
Was
it might
that,
have
was
been-
that film?
Well, that's
really
the
run
that's
out
the
of
hot, that's the
budget,
climax
It
of the
is
whole
Marvel,
movie.
but they still have budgets.
though? Also, I would like to have seen the costumes a little bit different. Like just going from like, oh, this is where I differentiate gold and silver.
Yeah, that was a little bit, but then also that does
And blue.
kind of link to the comics, if
Yeah.
I remember, because Death Machine is kind of does wear that kind of suit.
Hmm?
Pardon?
The print on the suit was different as well.
Yeah, but like I don't really like it's. Like when they do action
Print,
scenes, the
colour.
Marvel thing, they're already doing the like camera like this anyway, shaking it about. It's hard enough to tell.
Shaky cow.
Oh yeah, also the
Yeah.
people, also
So you know there's action going on. Shaky, shaky, shake.
also the
Like,
people,
Suddenly
also
zoom in.
the,
I wouldn't like to see his fighting style at all. No, shake it more.
also the people on the cliffs are kind of.
I liked that scene.
I
Yeah,
like
but
That was
it's-
really colourful. I liked
It's
it.
very clear that it's CG'd in.
I will
Oh,
tell you
well,
the
yeah,
honest
yeah.
truth. For the climax, I was waiting for the Circle of Life to play, like right at the end.
What else do we have? How much time do we have?
What, we've got
Yeah.
plenty.
There's another-
4 minutes, dude. Like,
There's a
oh,
bit
are
of
you
Star
going
Trek in
to
there.
get into a monologue?
Well, 5 minutes and 30 seconds probably at this point.
Paoli's going to monologue a little bit.
Well, not really.
Well, I have to say, I found it spectacular. The colour, the art style, and everything was great. You know,
The soundtrack was good.
good
the
soundtrack.
Art style was good. But again,
I think we can all
this is
agree,
like-
though, the storyline was the only bit that was a bit flat compared to the rest of the movie.
Yeah, they're
Not
not.
too much. I mean, it was.
Not too
It's a
much.
Marvel movie. They're gonna.
It's a Marvel
keep,
movie.
It's gonna keep
But I
the
think
same
it's competing against some very big movies that have come out recently, so Thor Ragnarok and Avengers and things, and these big storylines, and then you're going back to one single character again. It's a little hard to kind of keep up to date.
But
so,
it's again one of those films that establishes. Oh hey, here's Wakanda. We need to have a movie to establish Wakanda, and therefore
Well,
we
but
keep
they
doing
already
these
had
crazy
How
about
many
Wakanda.
origin stories that we had now?
Like all
out
of
the
them?
MCU, like
too many.
wait, how can you say all of them when there's so
for an
many
origin
characters?
story. No, it is an origin story, though. Isn't
Yeah, it is an origin story. So you're competing. Everyone who's watched a Marvel film recently will have watched these massive blockbusters of lots of different superheroes. If you compared this to maybe Captain America or anything, it's pretty much on par with that, I'd say.
Yeah,
For an origin movie, it is on par to what every single Marvel movie.
I'd say,
The
it's,
only-
I'd say it's more on par with Ant Man.
The-
I
problem.
feel better. I'd say it's more.
The problem with that is that
America.
it follows a formula, and the formula has become old already because it has been repeated several times.
I mean, it's
But
the
with
hero's
the Marvel
journey yet
universe,
again.
yeah.
But You know what I didn't like? You know when he burns the plants?
Yeah.
Sure.
They don't seem to really go over the fact that like he's now the last Black Panther, because they use up the plant to get him back to life.
Yeah.
And they kill the other guy who's the last guy.
But because he's not the last, is he? That's why they don't play on it.
This is also the Marvel
because
universe.
in terms of what they did, he should be. They should react.
Yeah, but that's like that was the whole issue, was that they didn't play on it, because a second later that they show that the fact that she's stolen it, that there won't be.
Yeah, but they use it to heal.
Yeah, they used up the
T'Challa.
last of it to
I
heal
have to
him.
be honest. If it was me in this situation and they were about to burn a plant that is meant to hold all of our
I'd have
kings,
taken the-
I would have been like, bitch, I'm a die for this, because this is what you're meant to be going for, isn't it? This is what
Yeah,
the
but
whole
she couldn't have killed him,
picture-
so I would at least taken 2. Like, there were other plants there. She grabbed one and ran away. I was like, you grab mother.
I wonder
Like,
how.
act like a
Jones
fat
can
person in a
listen
buffet.
to
Just
fear
go
of the-
for it, man. Like,
On the
He
mic.
wasn't exactly paying attention, was he?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He was focused on the fire. There's like
He was really
sound
cocky
and
about it.
shit.
He's too busy looking at the cameraman.
Yeah. So like, grab 2 or 3, but she only took 1. Then used the plant. They have no more plants because he burned it all. Therefore, they really need to reference the fact that he's going to be the last one of a line, and they didn't play on it.
Also, there's a fun camera thing where they
Oh,
twist it
that
around
twisty camera bollocks.
to symbolize everything's wrong.
It's all upside down.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not. No, just do him walking. Just let him be imposing.
I gotta say, out of all the characters in that though, I loved the Gorilla King.
Gorilla King was good.
He
he was great. He was
brilliant.
fantastic.
He was cheerful, friendly.
Not
handsome.
another word.
Ooh, I loved it.
He was supposed to be the Gorilla Man, though, in the comics.
I do like the fact that they make sounds in order to block out what anyone's saying.
That's pretty good. And then they laugh about it because it's.
I will eat you. Oh, don't worry.
Children. I'm joking.
Vegetarians. But then I also feel there's a little bit of a plot flaw when he goes, "Oh, one of our fishermen brought him in." That's already saying that fish. I'll just answer that one.
You're reeling him in.
Hi, Ollie.
Well, not even that. You're a buff guy and you're a
Hello.
vegetarian. I don't know.
That's
what
pretty
type of
impressive, to
fruit
be
you're
fair.
eating.
You know, like,
Just protein
that boy's
supplements.
having a lot of soy.
I was going to say soybeans.
Anything else about
It's just little plot points that let it down from. I gave it an 8 out of 10. It's just that little stuff that let it down from being higher. But that's the time.
I don't know.
No, we have a minute and 30 minutes.
Oh,
Minute and
that's
30
the time
seconds
now.
to go. Because it's 19, not 17.
Alright, okay, you can hold people to that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
holding them to that. It's their fault if they don't.
Okay, blame the fan base.
Yeah, exactly.
How
Well,
to
they'll come
alienate
in now at
viewers.
this point.
Listeners, damn
They'll
it.
come in at 17 and know they have to jump another bit. So.
Jump now.
Jump now.
No,
Do it!
I won't go back into the editing and like say, oh hey guys, just to make it sure, at this point you're supposed to skip to 19.
Well, they don't
Not
need to.
17.
They're going to
You're
go to
not gonna
17.
remember and
They don't
listen.
even
Yeah,
need to.
yeah.
They're going to go to 17.
But
And
you
then
probably should
finally
have a
jump.
notepad here just to not mark these kind of things down, but
You know, we're kind of killing off
That
the
would be
19
planning
minutes.
again.
We're
I
not even
know.
talking about it anymore,
I-
so
no,
don't
we're
bother,
done.
folks.
We
We're
should
done
probably
already.
just like okay. That's what I did with my week. There we go.
Yeah.
Paoli, what did you do with your week?
what did I do? We started that LP of what's the thing, Jade Empire.
Yes, we did do that. I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, we did.
We did
I,
the thing.
I haven't edited the rest of them yet.
No, that's
If you'd
good
like to
because I
hear
don't
someone
really
snoring,
have
feel
time
free to listen.
I was
know,
there
so just
snoring
do
away.
one per week for a bit.
Yeah.
We can make a backlog and we'll increase demand.
No, I was
because-
thinking of we just stop for now and then just record a whole bunch of different things and then release them when we can.
Why don't you just
Great backlog.
finish
Yeah,
it
exactly.
off? Yeah.
Nah, that thing's like 30 hours to play through.
Plus, we have another one to record as well.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
we're going to be keeping on the down low, just so we increase anticipation.
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
Anticipation increased.
Wait.
Also have to remember to, I tested it today and it's fine.
Okay.
Let me see, what else did I do? I started playing Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Did you?
Yeah,
Is it any good?
yeah, I like it.
Oh.
I only played
Okay.
up to I only played up to like the what's the point? Like the prologue section, through the prologue section.
How can you tell? Does it literally say prologue?
No, it's like because you have title drop in the
Oh, this is what the game is. Quit.
No.
See, I'm hearing such mixed reviews on it, and people say it's
Yeah,
not great.
it's
slow.
it's Euro jank, but it's good Euro jank.
What does that mean?
It's very buggy.
Oh, okay.
But it's not
like-
that. People are finding it slow at the beginning.
No, it's alright. Like it's supposed to be slow. You're supposed to get into it. Like people don't have many patience anymore, which I kind of found
Okay.
to like.
Where's a doctor?
Well, like, because in the beginning you start in a small village and you have to go do a fetch quest for your dad.
That
Because
just
you-
don't get enough appreciation then at all.
No. And then you're...
Oh, please don't tell me it's just full of fetch quests.
No, it's not. It's the beginning is fetch quest, so you can get introduced different gameplay elements.
Right.
So you have to go beat this guy up because he hasn't paid your dad.
Wait, you straight up just turn into a bailiff?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Well, for that moment, yes.
Okay.
Son, I need you to go deal with some shit for me.
Who sent you? My dad.
Yeah, like one of the options is
Wait, how old are you at this point?
they
Little
describe
7-year-old.
you describe you as nearly an adult, but you seem like a fully grown man at that.
So like 18?
You could say that probably.
Maybe
yeah.
16.
Oh,
Probably.
okay, so it's like, if you're going to be living under my roof and taking my rent, you're going to go out and
You're gonna
kick
bitch
some
slap
ass
my
for me.
enemies.
Also, your dad's like the best swordsmith around for some reason, but you're in this like really out of the corner town.
Okay.
Well, that,
Or
isn't that
village.
just like the normal thing though? You find in all stories like the swordsmith's always away in the backwater woods or something.
Yeah,
It's because true masters hide or some kind of anime.
weird thing.
Yeah.
Oh, we have to go get the wise man, but he's on the mountain somewhere for some reason. Why he can't get to?
Well, how else do you become wise? Excluding yourself from the idiots of society.
You can just do it under a mangrove tree.
All roll well on your initial skills.
Yeah.
Anyway, I did find like some really,
Collective grown. Sorry.
I did find like really strange things in that game. Like the pathing is really like bad at some points, like because you end up on a wall where Sigismund's army comes along, and you're like, then everyone like walks away from the wall because they pass, and then they go on the roof of a house that's next to the wall, and then the game bugs out and like freezes for a moment to get the pathing right.
Oh, okay. Is that just? Have you tried it again, or is that like?
That's just what happened, and it happens a little bit often in that town, like the fortress area for some reason.
So it's got a few glitches.
Well, yeah, it's
Well, how big is the game?
it's massive,
Oh, then it's
Well,
kind of
it's
understandable to
kind
fuck
of, yeah.
up in a couple of
but
places.
it's like it's got like it's not open world, it's semi-open. I want to say
Okay,
like it's got
so,
it's got areas that are really
Does
open.
it have hubs?
so kind
it
of
has
like
hubs,
Dragon,
yeah.
so kind of like
Okay.
Dragon Age or Witcher or something.
Witcher
Dragon Age is
Witcher
actually
became open
completely
area,
open world.
out,
Well, which
open
is
world.
yeah, the old Witcher.
Dragon
right?
Age is
Oh,
pretty.
It's
closed
bigger than
off,
Witcher
actually.
2. It's bigger than Witcher
Yeah.
2.
Well, Dragon Age Inquisition is kind of you've got quite a big map, but you have hubs to go to. and
Yeah,
stuff,
I would.
so-
It would be about the same
That's
except for
what
your
I'm
first.
kind of thinking.
As
Yeah.
Inquisition, like Dragon Age,
Dragon
it's
Age is
basically a
very
linear
close.
story with selected
Yeah.
places. You can go to any of them, but it is just
Yeah.
small,
Points.
yeah, maps.
What else? I also found it really weird because you come back to a slaughtered village from which you escaped from, and you have like a whole corpse pile there, and like you walk away and like wait, and like see the first guy like who's like still there, like on the path to the big mound of corpses, and like loot, wait, and they go back and just loot everyone. For some reason, they have a lot of food on them when they died. Like whole lot of vegetables and pretzels for some reason.
Oh,
You
lovely.
don't have any emergency celery on you?
Do you not always have a carrot ready at hand?
Yeah. All right.
I'm always packing my extra potato.
Just in case.
It was like weird. Like I have all this food now. Time to dump it because the freshness meter says it's not good.
Oh god, it's got freshness meter on it.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
really?
what freshness.
Well, I mean,
Oh.
being on a corpse for a while will probably.
It has a
do that.
lot of like these nuances. Like if you break your legs, you're slower, and you can break your legs. You can have damage on every single
I
body
love how
part.
If
you
you break your leg, you're not really slower. You're kind of incapacitated.
Well, yeah,
And
but,
in medieval times, probably dead.
Yes.
you can get damaged for like jumping too high.
Well,
You literally jump up and then you die.
No, like
Or,
if
like,
you,
you land.
you land if you like.
So it's got full damage.
Well, yeah, it's got fall damage.
Okay.
Okay.
Severe will fall
It's like
damage. I'm
any
gonna
normal
say
game, then.
not as bad as Dark Souls 2, but
Yeah.
Is it all first person? Or?
yeah.
Oh,
Like third person is only when like you're
fall
talking
down.
to someone,
Oh, okay.
Fair enough.
which is like fine because from immersion, and you can see your character enough in like the cutscenes, so you can think, oh yeah, there's my guy. There's no character customization.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, you're just a guy you're playing. Like it's like The Witcher where you're just playing Geralt.
Okay, I kind of get what they're trying to do. They're trying to keep you to.
Yeah, it's just like, but it makes decisions for you what you want to do. Like, oh, I'm in this safe area. I have to go back into that slaughtered village to go bury my parents. And everyone tells him that's a bad idea. You're gonna get your face smashed in because there's scavengers and
Bandits.
bandits and whatnot. And that happens.
I hate the whatnots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like wondering, can I actually beat the guy who beats me up? But apparently no, he like if you get like 4 strikes in, then he gets into God mode and then smacks you about.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. So it rails you into kind of
Yeah.
following what paths.
We are going to punish you for having skill.
He goes Super Saiyan.
Well, pretty much, except in the Bohemian style. Because it's in Bohemia.
Okay. It's
So
a nice...
he goes Super Saiyan and just starts singing Queen.
It becomes Freddie Mercury. The mustache appears.
Mama
He was bald though, so he wouldn't really...
Just killed the
man.
man.
took an axe to his head.
What else do I do this week? Let me think. Got into Hobbit some more. Painted some stuff.
What did you paint?
What did you paint, Barry?
I
Got
saw,
that first.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I'm just finishing up Azog, the Defiler.
Ah, cool.
Yeah. Who do you plan on defiling with him?
Everyone else.
Nice. Keep it broad.
Finished up the Courses of Umbar as well.
Pirates.
Yeah. Who else? I still have to go through the Moranon orcs that I got. And then have to base straight the Felwargs.
Have you ever played a good army?
Very rarely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, what were the good armies you played? Like, think back.
Space Wolves. He's got Space
Yeah,
Wolves.
They're very
Volca-
rarely good.
Volca,
Like,
Fenrica.
were they
Time one?
were they the only like Space Marines that were kind of canonically like they included sexual assault?
No, they
No?
never included sexual assault. They just included being a little berserk,
Oh, okay.
and they did a lot of drinking and roving and kind of socializing and partying.
Oh,
I was-
That's
so
kind
like
of
they're
how they are.
the college fraternity of Space
Yeah,
Marines.
pretty
Yeah,
much.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, that's
That's probably the best way to
The
describe
Bro
it.
Wolves.
Bro Wolves, man. Brotherhood.
yeah to put wolf in everything. But
Yeah.
what else did we do?
Did you Tau?
What?
You got Tau Army, haven't you?
Tau, yeah, actually, I do have a
Tau's
Tau.
I
a
mean,
Well,
Tao's still
what?
a little bit grimdark.
But the thing is, everything in
Mind
Warhammer 40k
control
is
is
grim
it?
dark. Space Marines are dark. Imperial Guard are dark. It's
It's gotten
questionable goodness. Is
it's
what
gotten
you've
too
got.
light these days, but if they get back to that dark, it would be nice.
Needs more evil.
As you can see, Paoli likes a bit
The
darker,
Imperial Guard.
darker
Well, it's
thing.
just-
Yeah, perfect with the Emperor's Finest.
Anyway,
Yeah, yeah.
Aside from that whole commissar thing.
yeah. Anyway, Ollie, what you do with your week?
Oh, what did I do for my week?
You had to know the question was coming.
Yeah, I know it's coming. You just kind of didn't expect it
You
so
have a week to
soon.
prepare for these things.
What? Just do my usual thing, like a dissertation and doing
No,
assignments.
we have to be interesting now because we have a podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
So media you consume.
Media, I played some League. That's just kind of what I do now.
Yeah.
'Cause
You got ranked, didn't you?
made bronze 1, but I think I mentioned that last week.
Oh, did you? Okay.
And I'm probably going to beat Jared to silver 5.
I'm on my series now.
Are you?
Yeah.
Damn, I need to get how far? I need to catch up now. Damn it.
Mm.
What else have I
Two
done?
wins away.
Oh, nice. I'll play with you and make sure we lose.
I was going to say.
No, everyone does that.
I like a challenge. So.
Fair enough.
Oh yeah, like the half the team.
What else have I
hands.
done? I've got 2 new books. So I picked up Praetorian Dawn, as I mentioned earlier, and I'm loving it so far, and I've quite enjoying it. I also picked up the trilogy for Cyphus Kane, who is basically just a very funny little Warhammer novel.
He's the Captain Blackadder of the 40k universe.
Pretty much. That's
That is the
Best
that is the best description.
best way to describe him. Completely.
Get that one up.
This one?
What else have I done? Oh, I was thinking something earlier. I've forgotten completely what it was. Oh, we there's a friend of mine started up a Minecraft server online, which we've been playing on a bit, which has been quite fun.
You mean Matt?
Well, Matt and Paul. Was it Paul? Stu. I can't remember which one of them. Is.
Justin.
No, Justin doesn't run it.
Oh.
Paul or Stu. Sorry, Paul or
Paul
Stu.
does.
Paul does, but I think it is Paul, yeah. But Paul did a little Tekkit server for us to play on, which has been quite fun. We had a good little roam about and made a little base. And yeah, that was quite fun to play. I quite enjoyed that. Don't know whether Paul will continue it, but because he's talking about going back to Feed the Beast mod, which is a fantastic mod, but I can't run it on my computer, sadly.
No one can apparently.
It's a very heavy mod. It has a lot of additions to it, and that's great. But it also means that you need a lot more RAM than the average mod
Bear.
You need a lot more RAM than the average bear.
Yeah, average bear.
Hey Yugi,
Yugi bear.
I've got to upgrade my RAM card.
I also did some more painting and finished off a Skimotar jet bike for my White Scar army.
One.
Jared is broken, which is entertaining.
Yugi bear. Hey boo boo.
How about we go get that picnic biscuit?
And some more rum.
Otherwise,
You're gonna need that Titan X.
Anyway.
Otherwise, there's not really much. I played some Assassin's Creed the other day. Back to Assassin's Creed Revelations. Not the best one, I admit, but I still
No, it's
enjoyed
not the
it.
best one.
Jared,
Is that still breaking
I'm
you?
still laughing at it.
wow, well
Hey
done,
Yugi,
Jared.
we're gonna have to steal that Omen X.
Sure.
Sorry,
Otherwise, it's been a bit of a quiet week for me. Just busy doing work.
Yeah.
Really.
What about you, Matt?
Other than ballsing up my deadline this week, that was fun. Thinking that my deadline was for Friday and finding out the day before the deadline it was for the Tuesday. That was great fun. Been doing a little painting here and there for a few people. What else?
It's been a
Managed
little
to
bit.
actually finish, well, not finish, but I managed to kill Neo Gigante on Monster Hunter, which is a pain in the ass because it's so quick compared to the Great Sword's speed.
Pain in the ass.
Been hanging out with Becky a little bit.
Snake.
Other than that, not an awful lot.
You got something this week, didn't you?
Did I get a little something this week?
Yeah, it
Well,
goes
you
on
got
the
little
boards. It
Yeah.
makes walls and things.
Sorry?
Makes a few walls. And
Oh
things.
yeah, my dad did 3D print and send it down and bring us Zone Mortalis.
Also, is that a Star Wars turret?
Yes, it is a Star
I
Wars.
told you.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, the turret snapped off, but it's a dice roller.
Oh, that's very good.
Always rolls ones though. So
Always
don't
rolls
use it.
ones, yeah. We found out that it averages ones and twos, so it'll fail any dice you roll for it.
Well, okay.
I need
Only-
leadership.
Only use it for morale checks.
Let's give it to Justin. So when he rolls dice, we actually have a bit of a chance to destroy his army. a bit
We
more.
don't need to give it to Justin for that. Like D&D's proven that boy can roll. Something.
Yeah, but Warhammer never seems to. He seems to roll sixes all over the board.
D&D, Justin, we don't have to worry about him rolling low dice. Or you rolling high dice. That's what we got to worry about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Shannon
she
had
can
roll dice.
not roll a 20 in a single session.
Against Justin.
It's, yeah,
I think she averages about 4 a session. It's entertaining, to say the least.
I mean entertaining and horrifying.
Yeah, when it's coming at you, yeah.
Was it all?
Yeah, I'm afraid it's been a bit of a quiet one this
Yeah.
week. Other than disastrous deadlines.
Sure.
Which you gotta love.
Let's get to the news.
News? Is there any new news?
There's a few things.
Okay.
So you know Metal Gear Survive,
Which
No, I
looks
actually
quite
don't.
interesting.
Yeah, what is it?
but fuck Konami.
Wow.
Well, yeah,
What is Metal Gear Survive?
it's using the Metal Gear 5's engine. I think it's the Fox engine,
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's Fox engine.
this time around.
and it's pretty much a zombie shooter using the MGS characters and
Oh.
engine.
Original. Okay.
So,
Well,
yeah,
not characters, but
zombie apocalypse. You give them
Customization.
missions, you go out to do mission, you get points, build a little base, defend said base.
Okay.
So if you've played Gears, the most recent Gears of War, where they have set up like defenses and stuff
you
like that.
probably have to raise your voice a little.
Oh really?
Yeah, because you're there and the direction is this way.
Okay. Well, if you've played the most recent Gears of War, it's similar to the defense system in that.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I have done that. So you can build turrets and walls and shit.
Yeah,
Well-
so like auto turrets, fencing that you can pen off areas.
I
and
did
stuff
like
that.
the Gears of War one at least. Check it out.
So, the base game costs $40, US dollars.
Okay, no, fuck Konami.
That's a little party.
I'm sure.
And you only get one save slot,
Oh.
which means you have to pay for an additional save slot, which is $10
What do you save on that?
characters.
What?
You have one character, then you buy another one for $10 each time. That's a little bit of dick move.
For
Konami.
50 quid? Well, dollars.
Well,
So,
you start to mount up to
35
hundreds.
quid
if
give
you're-
or take.
Yeah.
No, we're not that good anymore.
Are we not?
No.
No, with
45.
Well, euro to pound is 0.88 at the moment.
That's not the dollar though, is it?
No.
But,
Thank you.
if it's $40, it's about £37.
Yeah, so $50
Well, I can
is
just-
probably about 45.
I'm just going to check Steam. Steam.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, look.
Okay, right there.
30,
That's
30,
nice.
35 pounds.
Oh, that's still reasonable.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Not that I saw this advertised last night, that's why I know the numbers.
Maybe you could have backed up your argument with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, not worth it, I find. Okay.
Nice.
Moving on. Warcraft 3 got an update.
Yay!
What?
Yeah. So
Is
now,
that the servers running for that?
yeah,
There's still loads.
you can get it on the Blizzard
Website.
app. Yeah, desktop app.
Huh.
Well, it got released on the public test realm,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
and you
that.
get 16 to 9 widescreen support,
Yo.
and
I'm
updates
definitely
to
getting
map pools. Yeah. And people are kind of thinking, is there going to be a updated version of the game?
that. I mean, why not? It'd make money.
It would make
And
money.
Blizzard can stand to lose money.
To be fair, they took 10 years to make another StarCraft, so
Yeah, but that just shows that. Well, to be honest, how long did it take to make that StarCraft?
10 years.
Yeah.
From StarCraft 1 to StarCraft 2.
Yeah, but when they started StarCraft 2, how long did it take for them to make the game?
I don't know, 10 years.
It shows that they do put a little bit of effort in.
I can't remember what the development time was, but it was a very long time.
They do make effort when they do their games.
Well, they keep it under wraps and keep going at it until it's perfect to their standards.
Which is nicer than some companies who just toss it out
Yeah, I
half
know.
made and ready.
Only problem is they're partnered up with Activision at the moment.
Are they?
Yeah,
Oh.
they're called Activision Blizzard at the moment.
I don't
It's
pay attention
Blizzard
to it.
Activision, but
I don't pay
No, it's
attention to
Activision Blizzard.
knowledge.
oh, they keep it alphabetical.
Yeah,
I don't play much Blizzard games anyway, so.
Blizzard games are best games.
yeah.
I love Paradox games myself.
Oh, that's just because you're.
Anyway,
Correct.
so the Warcraft director, all right. Warcraft director has said that he calls making of the movie a political minefield.
What?
Yeah, I'm going to need to actually look at this article because I'm intrigued as to
Yeah.
what he could possibly call political about it.
It's been out for 2 years. How is it already a political
Oh,
moment?
bloody
It's-
hell, it's been
it's-
2 years.
It's men versus orcs.
Beasts,
How do you
orcs,
make
style orcs,
Dexter
yeah.
Uncle Beast?
Wasn't that great in story-wise. But visually it was fun.
I liked it. I'd say 7.5 out of 10.
From what I've just
Maybe
glancing at
six.
the article, it looks like it's because there's
It was
some
alright.
political. Well, when it says political, I think it's talking more about the producers, Legendary Pictures, going through tumultuous time, is what it quotes.
Oh, they're
So,
also
it might
trying
not-
to get
yeah.
the Chinese market on it as
Oh
well,
yeah.
Yeah.
which is actually very difficult to do with
I think
Western
about
West
2 years
properties.
ago was around Donald Trump and things, and
Well, I mean, they do have a very big influence over in China, Blizzard. Like
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
World of
massive,
Warcraft, the Mist of Pandaria, like they literally just made that because there was established fluff for it.
Yeah.
But, like they made that
Well,
expansion basically to expand the.
It started
Chinese
out with
market.
Samwise Didier, I think, making art for it in Warcraft 3 and having it in.
Well, they
like-
had the characters of Samuro and the Brewmaster.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
And that involved because it got such a fan following afterwards.
yeah. So like there was a bit of like there was fluff for it, but also because they really wanted to expand that market because
Yeah.
they were contending with
No.
other licenses with it, weren't they?
Yeah. Don't know. Can't remember. It's been a while.
I think they were contending with Rift, that one MMO.
Oh yeah.
But
But that was their like downturn.
are they making a sequel for Warcraft?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
It's,
Because
but
I thought it deserved a little bit of a sequel. Like,
Oh wait, do you mean
The movie.
The movie.
Movie.
Yeah,
I don't think
movie.
they're doing
I
another
don't
movie.
know.
I
no.
wouldn't call it an expansion a sequel.
I don't think they're doing another movie just yet.
No.
They should do though. I mean, it did fine on the box office, didn't it?
I
I think it did.
thought it
I
was
thought
profitable.
it just
It did,
about made
it did.
profits.
It did better in China than anywhere else.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it had a strong Chinese following.
Yeah. So Nintendo eShop pre-orders can't be cancelled.
And Europe is fed up.
I'm
Europe
not
is fed up with a
surprised
lot.
that's,
But,
that's quite reasonable to be fed up when you make a pre-order and you don't want it anymore.
No,
You
it's
should be
it's
able
part
to
of the EU
use
law
it.
that you can actually cancel it.
yeah, so they're
Nintendo
actually
is
having to
ignoring
take it to the. What is it? They look like they're taking it to the court.
Probably Norwegian Consumer Council is making an issue about it. So from the article, and it goes against the Consumer Rights Directive, which is passed by the European Commission. So it looks like probably this is going to be something that's going to be going through the courts in the next year or so as they fight out with Nintendo about.
Fine. Good.
Nintendo told Polygon it concerns that its eShop cancellation policies are unfounded in Europe. It's fully compliant with European laws relating to statutory rights of consumers, apparently, they say.
I mean, if the Consumer Council is arguing with you, then no.
No.
Like,
Well, yeah. So Nintendo's having that thing here.
And Toys R Us are closing another 200 stores.
I'm guessing if US and mostly.
New Jersey-based Toys R Us. I assume it must be some. Yeah, US retailers. So it's not really.
They're not doing great. I mean,
Yeah.
they're struggling with the fact that all shop traffic is now going online,
Yeah.
and B, the fact that toys are more expensive these days.
Yeah.
Also, what children want is so diverse and different. It makes things very difficult to
Most
stay
of
on the trend.
What people want is like digital as
Digital,
well.
yeah.
So
Powley,
What?
talking of Metal Gear Solid, by the way, I
Sure.
just remembered. The voice actor for Solid Snake for the last, God knows how many until the most recent game is going to Comic-Con in London in May.
Okay. What's his face?
and his name is probably what you want.
Yeah, I
I
know.
just can't remember it myself either.
Yeah, I'm thinking. David Hayter.
That's the one.
That's one, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be there.
That'd be
Yeah.
quite cool to go see.
Apparently.
I mean, London Comic Con would be quite cool to go
So,
see.
Yeah.
talking of Metal Gear, apparently the indictment comes across like a the indictment that Mueller's doing is sounds like a Metal Gear cutscene. Apparently,
Which
Huh.
one?
here.
No, I mean, which indictment is this? The original? Now, like he's done like 5 others.
I'm not sure.
This indictment reads like a Metal Gear Solid cutscene. The organization sought in part to contact what is called information warfare against the United States of America through fictitious US
Persons,
persons
personas, yeah.
on social media platforms and internet-based. Yeah, okay, I can see how that would be like, kind of like a secret agent kind of type thing.
British US persona. Metal Gear.
Yeah.
There's a movie trailer for the Bleach live action movie.
Shall we do like a Bureau Reacts?
Now we need
Yeah.
we need cameras for that because apparently you need to see faces when people react.
I'll tell you what face I'm going to do. It's going to be one of like disgust.
Yeah.
I'll just have my middle finger permanently raised.
They'll probably do as well as the Full Metal Alchemist live action when it came out. Was it this week or last week?
5.7 out of 10 on IMDb.
Yeah,
It apparently, yeah.
it's not great.
It came
No.
out on the 22nd, didn't it?
19th apparently.
Well, fuck you, dates.
yeah.
Okay.
So
What is
that
it
flops.
on Rotten Tomatoes where they're a lot harsher?
What's it called?
Metal Gear.
Oh, Jessica Chastain is to play Adult Beverly in It Chapter 2. I'm so down for that. She'd be
Really?
great.
They're doing a chapter 2 on it?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, they
It's
have
2
to.
books.
They
There's
said
not
end
2
of
books,
chapter-
there's 1 book.
They
And
said
there's-
end
Oh, yeah,
at the end of it was end of chapter 1.
I'm scared shitless of watching the original one.
Mm.
the original one.
I'm scared shitless when
The
I'm watching the
original
original one. I haven't
is
watched the newest one. Recently.
Yeah, don't want, if you can't handle Tim Curry, you would.
You can't handle the curry.
What was I looking for? Yeah, Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist.
But no, that's a really good bit of casting actually. That her face structure kind of goes into that a little bit.
I was reading a little too much into it, but okay.
Well, no, you got to take that into account when you're casting.
Wow, it hasn't even got a result on Rotten Tomatoes. Oh, it doesn't appear to yet.
Nope.
It's not
No.
there yet.
Wow.
Wow, that's
It's probably because it's a Japanese film and it went straight to Netflix.
yeah.
I wish there wasn't a divide between East and West like that.
There is.
Also, another movie based on a game this time is Papers, Please.
I'm very intrigued as to how to do this, considering the fact that like the point of Papers, Please is there's a lot of different endings you can end up with.
Yeah. I'm guessing it's on YouTube actually.
Yeah.
It's a short film.
So
They've already made it.
Sorry? Yeah, it's been done.
Finished, ready to go. You can go watch it now.
Yeah, it's out on YouTube and Steam.
Oh,
Yeah.
go
To
watch
watch
it.
for free.
That game deserves more recognition.
It's if I remember, it's meant to be quite a good game.
I played it.
myself.
It's really good.
Is it
It's
good?
really depressingly good.
Oh,
Like, it's so.
It's not a laughing matter though.
Yeah, people died.
I think they're viewing something else on another
Yeah.
screen.
Ah, okay.
So,
But yeah, no, like I got a really bad ending because the people were like, "Hey, if you let this bomb go through, we'll save well, not a bomb, or no, yeah, like an agent or something."
yeah.
They were like, "Oh, we'll like kill the president and save your country," kind of thing. And I was like, "You know what? Yeah, because they're not paying me any money anyway. Fuck them." And I got caught and sent to jail. And my family got executed. It was really depressing.
Oh, that
Good
is quite
times.
depressing.
But that's the breaks in the Eastern Bloc.
Mm.
Sure. Oh, to Warhammer news.
Do we have to?
Well, yeah.
Martha returns,
This
guys.
More
isn't
happy.
this isn't Warhammer news. This is Age of Sigmar.
Yeah, I know. I'm just going to mention that the models are coming out next week.
Absolutely gorgeous models.
They are
Yeah.
pretty gorgeous. I'll give them that. Like, especially, I like the fact that you have Marathi, and then at some point in the game, she just turns into like
Yeah, you can choose whenever that happens.
mega
Yeah.
Marathi.
I'm just annoyed that
Marathi.
I'm just annoyed that they come in the same box because I only wanted one. The
I think
more
probably they're going to
elf-looking
split
one.
it up in the future.
No, they're not.
They come in the same. But I'm angry that I get 2 models. Oh,
For 80 quid.
Yeah.
80 quid?
Yeah.
80 quid.
okay.
So
I
you're paying
understand
40
the anger.
each model. So yeah, it looks like probably what's going to happen is a lot of those are going to be split up on eBay.
Yeah, probably. Because I only want Morathi, the elf one, just for Aphid. That's it.
Another news: Black Library's anniversary and all the releases they've done for that. Some good
Yeah.
releases, I think. The postcards one is nice because it's got all the kind of old images you get to see from the old
People
games.
still use postcards.
Yep.
Think of it with trees.
Me.
Yeah. I know I'm the ecologist.
No
and
conscience.
I was
environmental
about to say,
person.
think about the trees, and yet we do. Our primary hobby is plastic.
I ain't chopping down no trees to make no plastic.
But we are using plastic. We are addicted to plastic crack.
It's not paper though.
True. But we do pick up.
Yeah.
What we did pick up our.
Have a go at me about my
Oh, look,
origami
look,
habits,
look,
damn
look,
it.
Oh, look, this lovely book. We all kind of like the reading the Horace Heresy books, and oh wait, they'll
I'm
paper.
pretty sure I just selected that
Yeah.
earlier.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we got the Eisenhorn model, which no one's got anymore because it went in like 8 minutes.
The local
And
store.
then it's out of stock on
On
online.
the website. I think that's going to get a reprint because it's so popular.
Yeah.
It was such a popular model. People really wanted to play with it.
Is that Logan the Trickster?
Yeah.
Logan the Trickster's got a new
Lucas.
book out. Lucas the
Yeah.
Trickster. He's got a new book out as well, which I nearly bought, but I didn't.
Yeah. And what's his face?
New Eisenhorn book,
Yeah.
which I don't know whether it's going to be good or not. Not
Well,
sure I'm gonna
it's
pick it
written
up.
it's written by Dan Abnett, so it's probably the same vibe.
Yeah, it's kind of nice that actually.
Yeah.
Oh, this is one was one for me because we're doing the tournament in June. So they're doing a doubles tournament. They did it last weekend
Where are they doing it, Jared?
in Warhammer World,
Here we go.
and
What is this?
it's this is like last weekend.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering why Ross is over there.
This might be
Because-
the 30k one.
No,
Oh,
it
no.
wasn't.
He uses it as a wolf lord. Huh.
Yeah, he's just using
right.
Russ as Wolflord. But like basically they went, oh, we're going to do 2 armies, custodians with Space Marines and custodians with AdMech. And I was like, okay, so I need to read this article because it's basically going to tell me, because Justin was planning to do custodians before he changed his list the other 89,000 times,
Yes.
and which he's done again
Oh, has he done it again?
in the last day,
Ah,
and 3 times more in the past week.
I'm actually surprised you didn't tell me while I was at the gym today.
I keep forgetting because he keeps changing it so often. But I was going to read this article to see how like the lists interacted, because at the time I thought it was going to be useful, but no, not so much. But still, I'm going to read the article because it seems interesting, just in terms of how you can get that synergy between armies these days when you're completely separating points out.
Actually, that was surprising. We did actually play again. I don't know if we've talked about it. Well,
Oh,
I
yeah,
played
we played
against
that
both
Warhammer
Justin
game.
and Jared just for them both to try out
No,
their
that was
tournament lists.
2 weeks ago. We mentioned last week's podcast.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
we did. Yeah.
Although I did make the realization that probably is the first game I've won against Justin and you. Well, no, I've won against you. I've won against you before, but
16 to
against Justin I've never won a game, so that's
16,
kind of a nice
13
thing
or
to
something?
realise. Yeah, 16-13 on tactical objectives is the winning because I nearly got tabled, but I did do a lot of damage to both armies.
Sure. Tower Empire's coming out in March with a new codex.
Ooh, that's
And
gonna be
nice.
interesting.
It's all about their great 5th sphere.
Oh, good. We get the Foresight Enclave, so I can actually play again.
Have they changed the colour of the battle suit on the front cover?
Yes,
My
well,
bad.
It used to
Oh.
be the normal.
Oh,
or
it's-
one of
yeah,
the
it's
it's
the
right.
orange.
They
Yeah.
really they don't like the ochre anymore. They really don't like it.
Why not?
I don't know, but they keep going with white. Probably because it's easier to put on the dirt, battlefield debris on it.
Yeah.
I like the ochre.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Forge rolls out
Finally bringing out those space wars we saw at the open day.
Grey Sails.
Grey
Grey
Sails.
Sails and
Who've got some badass shields, I
Old,
must say.
Fringry.
Baragir.
And the Vanguard Terminators.
Yeah.
They look pretty baller. I mean,
They
I
all
like
look
them
great.
purely because they aren't completely just arf, woof
Yeah.
woof. But
Oh yeah, it's sort of like only on shoulder pads.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Plates.
it's just a bit of fur, and it's like, oh, cool, that makes sense because Vikings was their main whole spiel, but now
I
it's
wonder
just
if we'll get any backlash from Peter again with that whole stupid article last year.
woof, 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 woof.
And if anyone missed it, there was a very entertaining article you can go look up, and the response done by the
Oh,
Games Workshop was fantastic.
yeah, Peter, that was stupid.
That was a
Like the protection
of
and ethical
ethical
treatment.
treatment.
Oh,
Animals.
Pete. You mean Peter?
Peter.
Yeah.
I think
I
I
heard-
just said that.
I heard Pete. I heard Peter as in like a name.
Peter.
Peter.
Yeah, they sent off that whole fur thing against Games Workshop because, like, wearing mythical beasts fur as a model,
And Games Workshop.
as a plastic model,
yeah,
is
is
bad.
And Games Workshop's response was excellent, and they basically wrote up a transcript talking about how they could take pelts off the aliens, who obviously the Games Workshop has no control over alien choices. So, yeah, they kind of flat down went,
Shut up.
"Shut up, get Peter." If any viewers do like Peter, Peter
they're
is
a terrible organisation.
they are a
They
terrible
kill more
organisation.
animals than they save, and
and they have a lack of understanding of what they're trying to protect. Really, they think they should be able to protect everything, whereas a lot of species that they're trying to protect have to just be killed because of their requests.
yeah.
They're just a little.
Didn't they release I think this might be the internet betraying me, but I could have sworn I read an article of they saved a bunch of, and I can't remember which ones, but turtles or something, and
Yeah.
they released them into the ocean, and they were freshwater,
Yeah, and they
so they
just,
just died.
yeah, and how they released a load of I think released a mammal. I can't remember what it was, but something that wasn't native to the UK. So as a result, all of them got exterminated because they're invasive species and they're not allowed to be taken and kept. So their lack of understanding for ecology and the greater environment is probably one of the biggest downfalls, and also the lack of reading up on the background knowledge about an animal in particular.
Shame they don't have any scientists on their team.
Yeah, if they do, then those guys need to be shot for lack of.
Yeah, but there's
Competence.
scientists that promote the anti-vaccine work. So
Yeah,
just because you have the word doctor in front of you does not actually make you smart.
exactly. Yeah, and you can still buy
Well,
a doctorate
you
in bloody
can-
America.
And you can buy doctors.
Yeah.
I have a doctorate, but
Is
it's
it?
in something useless.
Anyway, the Warhammer Cafe in North America that's coming out, which they haven't really released us where it is having a name contest. So you
Oh,
can-
name the Warhammer Cafe.
Yeah.
Wait, they've not said where it's going.
Well, I
No,
like
it's
how
it's in North America somewhere.
I'm confused. They're making a cafe rather than like what they do at Games Workshop, where they have a whole bar.
Yes.
Warhammer McWarhammer face.
Oh, maybe. Actually,
yeah.
I've got a friend.
Like,
of
if you're going to leave it out to the
Yeah.
internet, that's just going to happen.
Yeah. Just like if that science vessel where it was Boaty and
Boaty McBoatface.
Faces.
And I'm waiting for the day it discovers something important, so that name has to be enshrined in history.
Otherwise, yeah,
Ice
that's most
and
of our
Horn.
news topics we've picked up and selected for your discussion and viewing.
Yeah. I was just looking at Black Panther villains.
Yeah.
You got Killmonger.
You got M'Baku, you got Claw, you got Madame Slay, you got Ghost, you got Ashepe, you got Cottonmouth, you got Killjoy.
Everything I've seen of Black Panther, like every kind of animated film, because I don't tend to go into comics that much, I kind of keep abreast of them. But every
Yeah,
time he's just
well-
fighting the Scree.
Oh yes.
Oh, the
yeah.
Kree.
Kree.
Yeah.
Kree.
Yeah.
But then
every time
they're-
he's just fighting the Kree, and it's just like stop doing aliens.
Yeah, but they're coming up. They're going to be coming up soon after the.
Well, they're
Thanos.
coming in Infinity War, and I'm hoping
Yeah.
they do them a bit better than just like, oh, these guys have always been here, but nobody's ever noticed.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
thing is, their whole backstory is quite interesting.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Well, I'm more interested in the whole Xandar versus. Is he sure it's the Kree, not the Scree? Because what are the Xandarians up against? Because the
Oh, they
The
got
Skrulls?
Kree.
the Skrulls are the ones I mean, and then the Kree are the ones
Yeah,
in
Kree
space.
are the ones in space, but she's getting Guardians of the Galaxy. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd much rather see that history because apparently like 1,000 years of war and they suddenly got a treaty. Like, do a
Yeah.
film on that. That'd be great.
yeah.
But I don't know if that's been explored yet.
So we're gonna move on to emails now.
Oh, we
Well,
actually got one.
I can do spoilers for Thor Ragnarok, can't I? Because like
Yeah, it's been a while.
right at the end, that is a fucking Kree battleship that just looks at the
Yeah.
Asgardian people.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like, and I straight up want that to be explored.
It's probably will.
probably will be in the next.
I don't think it's going to be done in Infinity War though.
I don't know. They kind of need to cover it if Thor's suddenly appearing on Earth,
Yeah.
and he's being rescued by the Guardians of the Galaxy as well.
But they kind of
apparently,
left
in that
Hulk
movie.
in like just in the mix for like 2 years.
Yeah, but that's kind of the thing is
They're
they've
going
got.
to do Blind Hawk, and
Yeah.
they just put it in with Thor.
Well, I
Oh.
loved what they did in Thor because like in integrating Planet Hulk into that, which
Yeah.
would not have been a good film on its own.
No, it would have been.
Eh.
It's just Hulk and...
I challenge you with the fact that there have been 2 Hulk films already and they were terrible.
There's that, but...
The other one was in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, I know.
Sadly, it was.
Though
yes.
the comics for Planet Hulk is really good.
Oh yeah, no. The animated film they did for Planet Hulk was really great.
It's not as good as comics.
Apparently,
All right,
just-
Precious.
just-
It's
yeah.
because they just changed these little things. It changes the whole thing
Yeah.
and doesn't work into Worldbreaker Hulk at the end.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Fair enough.
But I like what they did with Thor Ragnarok. I thought it was good.
Sure.
Right, back to emails anyway.
Anyway.
Emails.
We actually have 3 of them this time. Woo! I like the collective woo. So we got an email from Denver. Pauli and the boys. I'm just sending you an email because see if you got excited. We did. Because it's only Paul. Wahahaha. Also, I think you should take a few pictures during the podcast. Why does he separate the pod and the cast? Or just generally of the activity.
You're gonna slate
Are
him
you
on his
going to grab
titles.
and check our emails?
Why did you separate the pod and the cast?
I'm going to start sending emails back to people with red marker on it
Jeez.
and a score.
Of the
8 out of 10.
of the
2 out of 10.
Anyway, of the activities you talk about so that you can slideshow them through the video. Also, when running the video on 1.25 speed, Pauli has the best laugh ever. Also, I think Jared should have his own little books with Jared, starting with a War and Peace review. keep up the funny content, Denver.
Hey, thanks, Paul.
Yeah, I'll get right
Well,
on that.
we'll
film.
whack you on-
I'll work that in in a year when I've actually finished that book.
It'll
We'll
be
give
the
you some games to
literacy
leave later.
It'll be the literacy division of the bureau.
No, actually, I'm pretty sure it was Bieber that was reading that book, and I think it took him like 4 years to
It
finish.
is a really difficult book to
Because
get
he's like,
into.
I'll just pick it up and do a chapter like every week, and I was like, no, that ain't gonna happen.
No.
I lived with him for a year, and I was like, did you finish it yet? He's like, no, I haven't done 2 chapters yet.
Wait,
4 years later, he's like,
so
I finished.
What other emails have we had?
Give me a
we had
moment.
2 more, yeah.
Yeah, we have 2 more. I was looking for...
What 1D4 chan?
yeah.
Apparently.
You typed 1D chan. Oni chan.
Onisa.
Go away. Horse heresy.
But Baka.
Anyway.
No, this guy.
The reason we don't have pictures...
Just getting dirty looks after mute in the corner.
So the reason we don't
She's
do
busy.
the reason we don't do slideshows is just because I want to avoid copyright as much as I can, even though we got copyrighted with this music I use.
Yeah. Well, this definitely doesn't have any copyrights. Oh, we got copyrighted.
Yeah, not like struck or anything, but it's just the music I use for the podcast just got flagged. And they monetized the videos we did. Therefore, they get the revenue for a 2-hour thing, even though I just use like 30 seconds of a song.
So, don't watch our first 3 episodes.
No, I'm just gonna remove the song.
Oh, okay. Wait, how are you going to go back and change the video you've already put
No,
up?
you just remove the song and mute the thing it sees.
Oh,
As
cool.
senses as being copyrighted. For some reason, it doesn't do that if it's 10 seconds or less. So our
Oh, that's why
Jade-
most intros are pretty like short.
yeah, and also the Jade Empire one doesn't have anything flagged because those the outro and the intro are very short anyway.
Well, maybe we should keep it shorter anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna what's the thing? Google has YouTube has a lot of copyright-free music, so we might just take one of those for the outro. But we'll see.
Or if you know of any non-copyrighted music and have suggestions, send it in.
Or if you make some good music and we like it, we'll also put that on our stream.
We're not gonna.
As long as you don't promise, you promise not to copyright it.
We'll pay you with exposure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get your name right.
Yeah. So we got an email from Jeff.
Jared's dad.
Which is my dad.
There are 4 key roles in any football team. Who would you play as?
Oh, no. The
Striker,
header is very
midfield,
important.
centre
It's
back.
a Lord of the Rings football team.
Oh.
He probably should have explained that better.
What? Don't be dissing on my dad.
Yeah,
Like-
mark it.
Like, as in the title has to be something else other than the subject of
Oh,
the thing.
Gimli. If we're doing Lord of the Rings, Gimli's going to be centre back. Striker would be Aragorn. Midfield would probably be Legolas. Goalkeeper probably be Gandalf, I reckon, because you shall not pass
The ball.
the ball.
I would have Azog as the striker. I'd have the Witch King as the centre midfield. Centre back would probably be the Gave Troll. And the goalkeeper would be the Mouth of Sauron.
I would have put the Goblin King in.
Why
the
would you not have
goalkeeper
Legolas?
so much.
Why would you not have the Legolas as the striker? Because he never misses.
Because centre midfield is slightly more important. Well,
Also, he's able to climb a collapsing.
Olig, what was
what
it?
was Gilead? You mean?
No,
No,
Oh,
it's really
Olifant.
fun.
Mummikill.
It's
Mummikill.
cool.
And don't even bring up the stupid bridge moment. I'll just turn off gravity for a second. Don't have to. Pisses me off.
Hope that answers.
But
you.
as a goalkeeper, you'd have just a troll.
Oh yeah, that's
They're
Actually,
huge.
Oh, no, I'm not gonna have a troll. I'm gonna have Growl. Much bigger.
switch out the troll with the Mouth of Sauron position. So center back for Mouth of Sauron, and then troll in the goal.
Oh, actually, I'm going to big.
Oh wow.
Me and my whole family were playing Lord of the Rings chat up lines one time,
Okay.
and my dad is 5'7", 5'8", one of the two.
So short she.
I'm 6 foot.
Question now.
And he won because he came up with the best line,
Alright.
which was just, "She could toss this dwarf." I cracked the fuck up.
So,
Alright.
has anyone else read this? I've been reading this email while we've been talking. Oh God, Broder, you creeped me out at the beginning.
Anyway.
What? Thank you all for reading out my last email. What is creepy about that?
Read
No,
the next
wait,
bit.
I'll read the whole thing. Just give me a moment. So we've got another email from Brodo. He says, "Thank you all for reading from my last email. I want you to know I listened to the podcast at 2 a.m. in a darkened room on my bed while rubbing my hands in glee of my ego expanding."
It's okay. It's
Though-
his ego. Don't be like, why would you read into that? Like,
Though
Oh, okay. Yeah,
it's rubbing
okay.
his hands, nothing else.
Yeah, so that was I was getting worried about.
Though don't worry, I was wearing my Mr. Potato Head pajamas,
How
so
is
there's
that
nothing
gonna be?
sinister taking place while I listened. Yeah.
we said we'd read everything out. So.
Yeah.
we did.
My question for you all is this: do you think there's an oversaturation in the superhero TV genre? What's your favorite, if any, superhero show? Also, please tell me, in your opinion, who would win. I think he's
Batman and Superman.
Yeah.
Love you, Brodo. P.S. Superman, one punch, send Batman up to heaven with his bitch ass sissy parents.
So we all have to basically talk about whether there's an oversaturation in superhero TV,
Yes.
who's our favourite superheroes, and
No,
No,
any
show.
shows.
Superhero shows. So
Oh,
we're
superhero
limiting it to
shows.
TV because that.
Okay,
yeah,
limited TV, yeah.
So first off, there is an oversaturation in the superhero
Yeah,
TV.
same thing with movies.
Like,
But it's very difficult when you've got a whole franchise called Marvel pushing their superhero.
yeah, but they're not pushing the TV that much.
True.
Like, Netflix is going heavy, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
not so much on the like general TV with Marvel. They just have the Marvel Agents of Shield.
Well, what are we classifying as TV? Because Netflix is quite.
We class
a lot of TV.
we class Netflix as TV.
So yeah, I'd say
Okay, so but they've only got what Agents of Shield, and then the
Jessica
five
Jones. They got
the five Defenders
uh,
plus
and,
Defenders the
You've
TV
got
show.
the what's Iron Fist.
Yeah,
got
so you have
Iron-
the Defenders, which is 4,
He is part of the
and
Defenders.
then
Yeah.
the Defenders.
Yeah, but they've also done 2 separate TV series of Sarah Jones and Iron Fist to go with that.
Which make up the Defenders.
Yeah, but the Defenders is gathering of multiple TV.
It's 4. The Defenders individually.
Yeah.
So Jessica Jones,
4
Iron
of them.
Fist,
All their
Daredevil,
All their own
and,
TV series franchises.
Luke Cage.
Loki. Yeah.
Luke Cage.
and
Yeah.
then the Defender. Oh shit! I apologise. There was an extra one. The Punisher,
Oh yeah.
Punisher series.
who was
Arrow
introduced
series,
in Defenders,
yeah.
but again, not Marvel.
Not Marvel.
DC have been going far too much into superhero TV.
To be fair, they also make the best animated ones, while
Live action.
Agree.
Paul.
Like-
Marvel does the better live action ones.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's a good point.
except for Iron Fist, which despite really liking the fight scenes in it, it was not as good as any of the others.
I'm in the same good boat as you actually. I liked the fight scenes, but I felt, yeah. it
Luke
lacked.
Cage was great as well.
Luke Cage was good.
The music in that was.
Jessica Jones, I was a bit hit and miss with it. I liked it. I liked it a
It-
little bit, but it was a hit and miss for me.
Bit of a slow starter,
Yeah,
but I liked the whole noir aspect of it.
yeah, really
Sure.
good.
Defenders was good because he combined.
Daredevil?
obviously.
Anyone remember?
Oh, Daredevil was
Yeah,
fantastic.
that was the first one.
First
so-
one.
Like, yeah, but even the second series, like that scene, the,
You mean
the
Puni-
fighting scene.
You mean
was so
Punisher
good.
season 1?
Yeah, a bit. But look,
Yeah.
come on, that scene where he's going down the staircase, and that is all one shot where he goes from the top floor, down the staircase to the bottom floor, kicking ass on the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that was just one shot of pure awesome.
Yeah.
I'll
And
give you that.
kudos to the actor for hitting every goddamn punch. Like it's insane.
Pretty damn good.
But is there an oversaturation? Yeah.
Yeah, there is.
Because you got
yeah.
the plus of that, and then you got Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl,
Heroes.
Flash.
The old one, Heroes, that was good.
That's
But that's
not
not-
a superhero. Like,
Wow.
It kind of is,
It
but
kind of is. They're all kind of superpowered in their own way.
is there an X-Men TV show that isn't?
well, it is pretty much like the X-Men TV show.
It's not.
Why is it?
I wouldn't call it superheroes because they're not superheroes. Like
Are the what's it called? The Inhumans a TV show as well?
they're making it. They haven't made it yet.
Oh, haven't they? I thought it was.
I don't think so.
I thought it had been released.
Is it?
Thought so.
I would have thought there would have been reviews for it.
Probably so not known that it had to come out. Well, after to see.
First episode, 29th September.
Oh, right. Well, that one flew right past me.
Yeah.
That's Marvel as well. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's Marvel.
Yeah.
That's a very...
Yep. There's
There-
definitely
there-
oversaturation.
There's a fun story why they had to go with Inhumans instead of X-Men. It's because Sony owned X-Men.
But Inhumans
Therefore-
isn't X-Men, is it?
No,
No.
which is
it's-
why they had because Sony owned X-Men.
Yeah.
Therefore, they had to.
And Spider-Man.
Well, yeah. So therefore, they couldn't really didn't want to promote those because they wanted the license back. So they had to make sure that that license had to decrease in value for Sony. Best way of doing that is not having any comics with X-Men anymore. So they switched the focus into Inhumans because they're kind of similar. We're not like different mutation. The mutation happened differently, but they're pretty much the same ones.
Yeah.
Like story wise, they can have a similar story
Okay.
because they had an increase in humans in the Marvel series before I stopped reading them. But yeah, that's why they.
That's an Illuminati shit.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's why they don't have the Inhumans as a TV show rather than X-Men.
Wasn't there another Marvel TV series recently that's like about kids, like the X-Men, the young...
Oh, the Runaways.
Runaways, yeah.
Yeah, that comic series is very good, but I have not seen anything about it because it's on
Is it on E4 or something? Or?
it's on Hulu.
Oh, it's on Hulu. So
Yeah,
there's-
which means no
yeah.
one's seen it because it's on Hulu.
Yeah. But okay, so yes, there's an oversaturation. Is that a bad thing?
Yes.
No, because I have a bias.
Yeah.
I like superheroes.
Yeah.
I am obviously a nerd, and I want to see more superhero stuff always.
Yeah.
If they did more of the plots rather than having similar plots all the time, it would be better.
Are you going to tell me that comics are like completely unique every single one that's ever been
Not
made?
all the ones, but then you can pick and choose which ones you read.
You can pick and choose which ones you watch.
Yeah, but there's more money going into TV and movies than into comic books.
Oh, Dracula having an economic boom.
So any other emails we got?
Which is what's your favourite?
No, yeah, we.
Oh, it's
we
done our favourites.
no, yeah, favorite. Yeah, we just talked about them. Jessica Jones probably or Daredevil.
I'm gonna have to go with Daredevil,
Daredevil.
season 2.
Yeah.
The complete like the moral questions Daredevil season 2 raised. Love it.
Although Luke Cage,
Nah,
I did
I
like Luke
didn't-
Cage.
That's a close.
I
It's a
didn't.
close one, but I did like
third.
Luke Cage.
I didn't watch Luke Cage.
No, wait, hold on. Is that a third or a second? No, it's a close second.
I preferred Luke Cage over.
I need to watch Punisher, then I can see.
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Punisher.
Yeah,
yet,
I
that's
just watched
why.
like the first episode or two.
Maybe
and
we can do
dropped it.
that as a podcast thing. We watch
No.
and we review it, and every episode.
I mean, we do that anyway.
Yeah. Anyway,
Who would win in a fight between Batman and Superman? This always just comes to Batman fanboys saying, "Does he have time to prepare?"
yeah.
Yes.
Because he has plans to kill Superman. But what if? I'm gonna just put this out there.
Sure.
It was Injustice Superman.
Yeah.
Because Injustice Superman, before Batman has that Deus Ex Machina pill,
Sure.
would kick the shit out of Batman. like,
In
Well,
all
yeah.
terms and senses, even though Batman could prepare, Superman is meant to be completely indestructible apart from kryptonite. And in all sense of purposes, I think kryptonite's been mostly destroyed. I know they keep finding it every so often.
the Kryptonite is just again the Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah,
of
exactly.
Superman.
It's kind of, I'd say at the end of the day, it probably is going to be Superman, despite how long Batman has to prepare. He's not immortal. Superman is. Superman just has to wait him out.
It comes down to what each character symbolizes.
It comes down to the writer.
Well,
Yeah.
that too.
Um,
But Superman as a character has to be the best in everything.
He has to be.
Which
Which
is-
he has to be
make-
the goodest.
Yeah, but which makes him the most boring character otherwise. But he
Yeah.
has because he represents like the peak of any achievement.
Hmm.
Means that he has to win every single time. and he has
Well,
no.
he doesn't even represent the peak of energy. Like, he's just...
Like he's the strongest. He's supposed to be a god. If you haven't noticed the Zack Snyder
Yeah.
films, making him into Jesus.
Yeah, but that's just... Yeah, bad writing.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, if like... Okay, so let's set the ground rules. It's a fight.
Sure.
They are there to kill each other. Let us say that all moral judgment has passed beyond them because they both don't kill, but let's say they've just gotten to that point where they're totally prepared to do it. Superman instantly wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can move faster than Batman.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much kryptonite Batman got on him, Superman can still move fast enough for
Yeah.
Batman
Superman
to just
also
punch
has-
through his
Superman
chest.
also has a ranged option called laser beam eyes. Kind of that would just.
I'm assuming that his, like, let's go more magical powers. I'd say Batman does have kryptonite.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that would be first to go.
Yeah.
But Superman is still much bigger than Batman in just general depiction. Gonna punch through.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, so yeah.
done.
In the
And I
Dark
get
Knight,
that he's like a ninja,
yeah.
but still.
Yeah.
in the Dark Knight Returns, he gets his best chance, but they're both old, and Superman just got hit by a nuke. In that,
Yeah.
See,
And
that's
he's-
if like your
and he still
character's-
loses. Batman still loses, but he tricks him into thinking that he is dead. But that's all the thing. Still
Wait,
loses.
the guy who can hear a pin drop around the other side of the planet
Yeah,
can't
he-
tell a heartbeat.
No, he has to stop his heartbeat.
You're dead.
Yeah, but he brings himself back somehow. I can't remember how.
Ah,
No.
okay. Poor
Just-
writing.
Tell that. Who's the guy? Anyway, let's move on.
Basically, we're all like agreed. If Superman was actually crazy, Batman dead straight away.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, cool.
Most likely.
Cool. Moving on.
Oh yeah, his story about not having an email last week.
That's alright.
Yeah, sorry you didn't get an email. It's okay, thank you. And thanks, Dad, for sending one in.
I thought we
Yeah.
had 3 emails.
Thanks.
So they're not
And
one?
Paul
No, that was
for
3
being-
emails.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah,
Paul,
Paul,
Brodo,
Jeff,
and
and yeah.
Oh, okay.
Also, thank you, Paul, for being a psycho little bastard.
If you want to be like these 3 people and send us an email so we can read it and grow your ego some more.
Stroke it.
Yeah, that too.
Strike it.
Write to us at bbacpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, that was the smoothest take we've done.
Yay.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. BBAC podcast at gmail.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or be back if you want to.
We're back.
Yeah. Anyway, on to our weekly.
I think we might have to take a pause in the podcast.
Yeah, because
Due to
that
interference.
cooking is gonna go on the thing. And we're back.
We left.
Yeah,
Well,
for
we
a
can put in
moment.
a little brief interlude there, put some music in.
Nah, yeah.
Some sound.
It's gonna be a hard cut. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Like, they don't know about it. We know about it, but they don't know.
We talked
no,
about it.
no one listens to the podcast at this point. Actually, I haven't looked at
If
the.
you're at 1.25, you really didn't know about it.
I can't remember if I've looked at the analytics for this stuff, but anyway. This week in the Legion,
This is the
Review.
30k section.
yeah. Well, we already have success with it because we converted 1 guys to change their armies to a different army last week.
Salamanders.
Was that me?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, I literally, like the next day I went out and
Oh, yeah.
costed and fully like
Warhammer
pointed up a
what date did we
2,000,
change it to?
2,500 point Salamanders list.
Yeah.
So the day before you start your placement?
So yeah,
Sunday.
that's 100% conversion
Sunday,
rate, boys.
4th of March. Not next week, is it? Next week? Oh, next week then.
But this
Because
week
Justin's
it's
Word
time
bearers.
the worst of them.
That's fine.
Are you still interested?
It was the best of times. It was the blurst of times.
Anyway,
Um,
the Legion rules
Oh,
are as
Gina.
follows. If you would like to finish the conversation.
Sorry.
no, yeah, carry on.
We're talking about going to Forge World.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Tell
Yeah.
class.
Pardon? You're coming, aren't you?
I'm not right now.
4th of March.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I wasn't expecting. Yeah, we're not going to get there.
You also meant, March. Yeah, it's still in February. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking in March for some
Time is
reason.
linear.
Yeah.
Yes, it's next week.
Anyway, word bearers special rules. They get 3d6 for all moral checks, and they pick the lowest.
But not on fair or pinning for some reason. Well, fair enough.
Well, they can still get scared even though they're the ones that summon
Sure.
the scary demon things.
Yep.
Cut them down. Sure.
Thank you, Matt.
That works very well in a visual podcast.
That's only for your enjoyment.
Sure. Must always make sweeping advances a must reroll as sweeping advance rolls of 1.
That's quite cool,
They're
but also
very
annoying.
berserkery. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I mean, without obviously they're not touching on Angrons. They're touching more on
They're
Zealous.
yeah, that's what I was
Overly
gonna say.
zealous to finish off the enemy.
Fanatic. Anyway.
That's the term.
Fanatical.
Primary detachments must take a second compulsory HQ choice, and they must be a chaplain or a centurion.
And not any console like a champion, so you can't cheat them out.
Nope. Trader word bearers can are the only legion that can use psychic powers from malefic demonology, so you can summon demons.
So that's quite cool.
Then they have some war gear.
I mean, you skipped over a lot of paragraphs there, pal.
Now some explaining the things, like
Yeah.
why it would be good.
1d4.
Well, the thing is, they need the demons to kind of bolster up for the weakness of their army.
What's weak so far?
Well,
Do they not have any special like units or something?
they have some special units, but they're all kind of limited to.
We'll get to them.
Yeah, we'll get.
sorry,
it.
sorry,
First.
turning ahead.
Yeah,
Unique war gear, burning lore. Praetor, Diabolist, Centurion, and Chaplain can take burning lore upgrade, which makes them master level 1 psycho with biomancy, malefic demology, or telepathy. Telepathy.
It's kind of cool.
It's alright. There's not many psychers in 30k anyway, so
Right, you basically got 1,000 suns, and that's kind of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you take a librarian in different armies, but once again they're not often used. So this gives you a way of using them a little bit more cheaply
Okay.
because you're fulfilling like your HQ choices.
Destiny. Yep.
Well, yes, but you don't need to think about am I going to take a Centurion or am I going to take a Praetor with burning lore? So you can take some psychic ability,
Yeah.
and you just get psychic scream anyway with telepathy and. Tainted weapon. Any character that can take a tainted power weapon can instead take a tainted weapon, and it causes instant death, and it's a specialist weapon.
So
It allows you to basically have two special weapons when
You get an extra
bonus
attack. Oh no, it's a specialist weapon though. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you have two specialist weapons in hand, so
You do
power
get
fist
one.
and stuff and things, you can basically double up and get.
Problem
extra
with instant death is that it's not very useful against other than characters, and you really need something AP wise to get
And
through
then a
that.
lot of characters have Eternal Warrior if they're any decent characters.
I mean, if you're getting the free extra attack, it might just do the job.
might do the
For what? How many 5 points?
5 points, I think it is for digital lasers. So yeah, 5 points for the tainted weapon.
So it's not the worst. Like it's,
No, it's
one
not
of those ones
terrible.
where you're like, oh, I got 1995. Yeah.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Sure, in
yeah,
that
it's
case.
a simple. You're never going to go wrong with it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So
The relic is once per game for only one turn only. All invulnerable saves within 12 suffer a -2.
Friend and foe.
Yeah.
That's important.
So if you're buffing with demons, that's going to screw them completely because they'll have no save.
Depends if you flank it right. Like
Well, it says
You mean
within
time it, Brian?
12 inches,
no,
doesn't
all
it?
the time.
Or
Right?
place it
Like
right.
obviously you'd stick the demons on one side of your flank, and then you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
the guy with that thing on the
And
other.
it does specifically say within 12 inches. So in fact, it's actually not terrible if you apply it correctly. So if
Yeah.
you know your units aren't going to be invuln saving, you can throw it straight at a Terminator unit maybe.
Or you just throw a chaff unit of
Yeah.
demons and something to keep them there while you get
Yeah.
that thing down. Oh yeah. Over to the Rites of War. The first one is Dark Brethren. Our traitors, all characters get...
That's a right of battle, not war. Does that matter?
Battle. Yeah, that does.
No, it's Rite of War because they just mess up there.
Oh, is that okay?
Yes.
Hmm.
Because they're always rows, not robs.
Huh.
Anyway, all independent characters get preferred enemy loyalists.
Nice.
You need Erebus to make most of this, apparently. But signs and portents. After everyone's deployed, nominate one unit in your force and let your opponent know which one it is. Flip a coin. If you win the flip, the nominated unit in your army gets preferred enemy everyone or has preferred anyone.
Or
Can't
Do you
talk.
want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Where am I at? If you win the flip, the nominated unit in your army gets preferred enemy everyone, or everyone has preferred enemy against that unit. If you lose the coin flip,
Yeah. Then there's all fluffy things to
So-
say.
From Beyond Codex Demons becomes Battle Brothers. That's
So that works very well with
That's
them.
nice.
and then Hell follows with them. Enemy psychos taking perils of the warp suffer instant death. That's very nice.
This is what you use against 1,000 Suns.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but you have to take a Diabolist. This means all 3 HQ slots are already taken. Unless you take Erebus or Gorfaeron, apparently.
Corphaeron because they fulfill both.
Yeah, and only one heavy support choice may be taken.
Thing is, it's really
That's-
one ability
yeah.
relies on psychos to be present in an army.
You
And-
would only take that against Thousand Suns.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and if you're playing in a tournament list, it's a really not very useful list.
No fortifications or allies allowed.
Any other allies except demons become desperate allies. That's rough.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Then this is the one I like, which is the Rite of War Last, the Serrated Sun. You get Gal Warback troop choices.
that's very nice.
I must be take either a Anvilus pattern drop pod as
Or a regular.
or a regular one as the transport. They have to have it. Drop elite. Any infantry that has access to a Rhino gets the option to take a drop pod instead.
That's very nice. I do like that.
Yeah. Burning Sun. Enemies within 12 inches of a arriving drop pod must take a pinning test.
That's really good, actually.
All infantry units must either start the game in a drop pod, in teleportation, deep strike reserve, or inside a transport flyer.
That's the only thing I'm kind of iffy on.
You may not take any immobile units, and you may not take fortifications or allied detachments again.
Yeah.
So if you're taking Corfaring for the
yes.
deployment, then it's bad.
Yeah, I like it because it's like a drop pod assault. But it means that your guys are coming in 2 waves. But then that kind of is fine because if you're using
If you time it with the correct units, then that's
yeah,
really good.
and because if you're putting the bloody Gal Warback in there, and they're really good.
Oh yeah.
We'll get into them in a bit.
Would you do those second or first, though? Do you reckon?
Probably. Well,
I'd probably do the chaff units first,
It
time
will-
down, then use the
I
second.
think
Maybe.
it's a situational thing, really.
Yeah.
Depending on how your opponent deploys, you would want to either field them early to get into the nasty units that could wipe everything else off the board, or if you know you can survive with your first wave, then you drop them in behind where you need them to do real damage. I think it's entirely situational, which is actually quite useful in a way. That's why I think that works quite well. The kind of role, because you can basically tailor to how you need them.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. So the Diabolist, which is a unique console for the Wordbearers, he gets Demon Special Rule and Preferred Enemy Loyalists.
But only for melee attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can if you take a Diabolist, you can take a upgrade for Tactical Breacher and Assault Veteran and Terminator units, which is called Dark Channeling. You roll a d6 and you get a special rule at the beginning of the game.
The Diabolist can't take a bike, jet bike, Terminator armor, or Power Fist or a Thunderhammer though.
Yeah, you're just there. It's just there to fulfill a need or an upgrade.
But but they get the Dark Channeling option, which is good.
On a 1 to 3, the unit gets Zealot. On a 4 to 5, you get +1 strength for the game. And on a 6, they become demons, which is not that great because demons
They
means
just gain a 5-up in one.
yeah, but it means also that you're losing the
Objective secure.
yeah. You don't
Yeah,
you
they
lose
no
it.
longer count as destroyed, and count as being destroyed at the end of the game anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a. Well, then this kind of works on the whole thing of that they are really kind of fickle with the warp. They're really entwined with it, and the warp is never nice.
Yeah.
So it kind of works
Always.
in fluff wise, and it gives you some good bonuses. It just although usually you're going for the 6, you don't want to in this situation, or maybe you do, if you know you're going for a lot of AP army and you want the Invuln save to save it.
I don't like that whole random portion of stuff though.
But this is exactly how they play, which is not for everybody. For some people, that's kind of what they enjoy.
Yeah.
So I think it's very much a matter of what you like in terms of Warhammer.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's why we do the segment, isn't it? But
Has to,
yeah. So we got into the unique units now. The Ashen Circle.
These guys are just cool.
Yeah, they're cool, but they're not the best, I find.
Yeah.
They're a jump pack infantry unit. They have this unique axis, but that are +1 strength, but AP 6.
Ew.
And -1 to enemies falling back distance.
Yeah.
And you can replace the power axis with these for 5 points. Don't really think it's worth it.
No.
Maybe one guy just to decrease the movement.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
maybe one guy, yeah.
Otherwise, it's not really worth it.
Yeah, because you are allowed to mix and match, which is nice.
Yeah, it's quite cool.
You can take flamers with them, which is okay, but it's not.
They can't be joined by friendly Imperial independent characters.
No.
Imperial.
They have Hammer of Wrath, which is strength 5.
That's they classed as flamer types.
Classed as flamer type attacks. That's interesting.
It's because they use fire.
Yeah, but that means that I get -1 strength as a salamander against them.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
They can deep strike,
Oh.
and they take, and if they're within D6 of them, they take a strength 3 AP 5 flamer hit,
Nice.
I kind of like that. And they can take Phosphex bombs on the squad leader.
or infernal pistol, or a
Right.
plasma pistol.
And if you take 10 of them, they get +1 weapon skill.
Do they?
It says the 100%
Yeah,
skill
but
special
it's
weapon. Oh no, hang on, no, they have +1 weapon skill
so they're
compared to a
skill
normal assault
5.
unit.
They're weapon skill 5.
So for 100 points, you're getting +1 weapon skill. So weapon skill 5
more
takes-
than assault 10 or assault marines. But I would rather just take assault marines in that case.
For 100 points, that's not exactly.
At this point, they're kind of, if you want to stay fluffy, they're great. Otherwise, they're a bit of a lackluster unit.
Yeah.
It's something that's coming up at the moment. A lot of units and armies need a bit of an update on their fluff.
Well, unit stats.
Well, headhunters for Alpha Legion need one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've already said that they're getting them.
Yeah, so I think this
next
will be
book.
another one that's going to get a little update on their stuff.
But eventually, maybe. We'll see.
Might be in the next book. You never know. It could be. It's just a simple word fix or a rule adjustment for them.
Yeah.
Anyway, Gal Warback, which is called Chisian for Blessed Sons.
The original possessed Marines.
They got 2 wounds each and 3 on the sergeant. Their weapon skill 5, strength 5, toughness 5, initiative 5, so they strike first. Most
And
of
they
the time.
have bolt
Fives all round.
pistols and bolters for actual shooting. That's actually cool. They have shooting, whereas the current 40k possessed have none.
Yeah, and a
And
grenade,
grenades.
And grenades. Huh.
which the 40k ones don't have either. Let's see. They're demons, so they can't be joined by anyone unless they have the demon special rule.
So they have a 5 weapon run.
Yep. They're stubborn, they're bulky, they have rage, they have rending in close combat, and they have deep strike.
That's nice.
And they may take special weapons per 5 guys, so maximum 2. That's quite cool, having a special weapon in the unit.
They're not scoring, but
Yeah, that's the only
like,
problem.
But
why would you use them for that purpose?
But to be honest, they are literally a shock unit. They're going to
Yeah.
go for a unit because they get rending and they're quite high toughness and
I
strength.
would rather give them power weapons though, just to make sure that they do something.
Yeah.
Because I would never put them against Terminators.
No.
I don't know, they could probably do it because they've got
Well, yeah,
5
they'll,
weapons.
they'll wound better and they'll take less damage, but they'll die.
They'll
because
mulch through a 10-man tax squad.
Tax-
yeah,
squad
those.
will die.
Yeah, those will. Just
I actually
go
think
through.
they do okay because they've got a high weapon skill, whereas Terminator's going to be standard Terminator's weapon skill 4.
I
theirs
don't
weapon
think
skill
they're
5.
an elite killer. They're the I'll go through the.
Oh,
basic
they're a
units
shock
to-
unit. They're not
Yeah.
sustained with. Well, they could be
Only
sustained
problem is
other
they might
rolls.
get stuck in a target unit of tacticals because you still have the 3-up save if they don't take power weapons.
Mm.
So I'd rather give them power weapons.
But
so
I
they
reckon
can
they
go through
become very expensive if you take power weapons
But you
with
get
them.
the rending as well, so you'll be.
Well,
getting
yeah,
some
but
gold.
that's gonna take
I
a few out, and if you're like, let's say you have 5 and you're against 20 Legionnaires, tactical
Yeah.
unit, they're gonna stay there for like 2 turns
How many
maybe.
attacks do they get there?
They
Okay.
get 3 each.
Yeah, I think there's 3 or 2.
So-
You get a good odds.
Yeah.
Like you'll at least get them down to the point where you probably just sweeping advance them.
Yeah, possibly.
Also, I think they're probably a good shock unit. I think they can stand against elite, but you don't want them to. I think they could take Terminators myself because they will have weapon skill 5, so they'll be hitting on 3s. Terminators will be hitting them on 5s.
4s.
Will they be 4s? Oh, well,
Yeah.
4s,
Your
yeah.
8th edition again.
So yeah, we're 8th editioning again. Yeah. No,
I'm
so-
untainted.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a nuanced one, yeah.
Anyway.
Ironically, the Marogal tainted dreadnought.
Yay!
Just a thing, one final thing about the Gal Warback,
Oh,
because they're not scoring, and you're kind of an assaulty army anyway, and Gal Warback on their own is an elite choice, I think.
you can take those troops in that right.
Yeah,
way.
I know. So they're kind of an assaulty army. So what you would do is have some Gal Warback being kind of like the line breakers, and then have everyone else being the objective holders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, yeah, like they are meant to mulch through the other teams' objective
Yeah.
holders, essentially.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Mahara.
Mara.
Yeah. Tainted Dreadnought. It's expensive because it's 5 points over 2 Contemptors. The price of 2 Contemptors plus 5 is how much it costs.
Yeah, but
Pretty much.
like it probably does the job of 3.
It changes. It exchanges atomantic shielding for demon. Adamantium will and will not die, and also all flame, Volkite, fusion, plasma, and melter weapons are -1.
Strength.
And anything that is in assault with it takes a
Minus
that's
1 to
below,
hit.
which is below toughness 7 and armor value 13.
Well, in close combat, it causes blind, which is quite cool, I suppose. And its warp fire plasma cannon is 3 shot, strength 8, and doesn't get hot, which is actually, in a way, kind of reliable. But yeah, it's a little too. If it's nearly the price of 2 contenders, that's a little too expensive.
Yeah. Also, it blows up and on strength as a strength 5, AP 5 with Soul Blaze.
Massive blast.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, but it means like, oh, you have this, and then it blows up. Doesn't have armor ceramite, which means you just get Melta and you just blow it up.
Yeah, so salamanders will deal with it quickly.
Oh, okay, so this is crap. Right.
And it doesn't really synergize well with other unique things in the Warbearer army.
Yeah, that's a shame.
The model's really cool, though.
It's a good looking model, yeah.
Probably just use it as a regular Contemptor or something.
Probably.
Yeah.
For the thematic purposes.
Mm.
Anyway, characters. Erebus, first chaplain.
Royal dickhead of the entire universe.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
He is a
Chapter
Praetor.
Diabolus.
He's the chaplain and column.
Yeah. But he's got Zealot, Adamantium Will, Master of the
He's
Legion.
a
and,
chaplain diabolist.
Yeah.
Mm.
And a Harbinger of Chaos. And he can use Dark Channeling, which means you just take this guy all the time in your Warbearers because you get like 2 for 1
Yeah.
most of the time.
But as it says, he does allow, but he frees up the space for your second HQ to be anything you want because he fills.
No, he
it with-
frees up 2 slots because he just
Yeah.
fulfills
Yeah.
all the slots
So,
requirements.
Even though one of the metas says you need 2 HQs, one of them being a Diabolus, he fills up the 2 requirements, but you can then have to take a second HQ, which can be anything you want. Is what it
You don't
says.
have to take a second HQ.
It
Yeah,
says
but-
2 HQs, but one of them must be a Diabolist, I believe. It said.
Let me see. If it's at least 1. Oh no, you might have to take a second one.
Yeah,
Never mind.
so he does nicely as a kind of.
But it
throwing
doesn't
out-
have to be a Diabolist at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
It can
He
be
removes
anything
that
you want.
requirement.
Yeah.
So you could take a Siege Breaker or something, or take a Apothecarian.
Or a champion.
Champion.
Or whatever the hell.
Nice little foilable there. That's a nice little.
Unfortunately, you have to then wield the dickhead, but yeah.
Yes.
Then he lets you take Chaos Demons as allied forces. He's a level 1 Psyker with Burning Lore, as we mentioned before. Yeah.
He does add stuff to Don Either Witch as well, which is not terrible.
Yeah. He's alright.
What's his points value?
I can't remember.
Uh,
And probably shouldn't disclose it anyway, because we have to actually have people buy the book
Oh,
to find these things out,
yeah.
or they can look it up themselves.
fair enough.
Yeah,
We'll
there
put
are
ourselves
probably a
on
few
the side of
copyright.
Forge will sponsor us, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might get a few strikes if we try anything.
Well, no, it's like
Well, they have to get through the rest of the podcast first.
Well, the usual thing is like you can't talk about points and rules too much.
We're literally going through the rules.
Well, we're reading them out, but we're not
We're
saying how much
discussing.
points there are.
Oh, okay.
We're not encouraging.
It's also
you to do
reviewing,
anything.
so you kind of get.
So in a way, it's yeah.
It's kind of a thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, Cor Ferron, which is the first captain, and Lorgar's foster father. He's a regular dude, really, because he's toughness 3, but he's just given like enhancements.
He's just given the immortality pill.
Yeah,
He also
Yeah.
gives +1 leadership.
yeah, to everyone as long as he is the warlord, which he must be unless he's Lorgar, unless Lorgar is around. He's got Cataphracti armor, feel no pain on 6-up, and a 1-use only hand flamer. Lets you take allied forces of Chaos Demons. It's a level 1 Psyker and Diabolist.
Oh, so you can take him instead of Erebus.
Yeah,
Mm.
I kind of like his model.
It's like changing up the Emperor for Darth Vader, but okay.
Yeah, I quite like the Cor Ferron model. I'm just really annoyed that you have to take him with Erebus a little bit, because you have, when you buy the box that has Cor Ferron, Erebus is also in there with the scenic base,
Oh, God.
just like in Loken and Abaddon.
But he has a bit of a flaw.
Well,
He is basically a general standard marine in stat line, unlike other HQ.
no, he's toughness 3 and initiative 3.
Weapon skill 4 though.
Yeah,
Yeah, so he's a bit of.
So
a,
he loses 2 stats. And
yeah, that's what I
gains
that's his
nothing.
flaw. He's not exactly as amazing.
I wonder
as
if he's
probably
cheaper
Erebus.
than Erebus, but I can't confirm at the moment.
Well, he's in Cataphracti armor, which
You'd
is
hope
usually
so.
quite expensive.
Yeah. Anyway, Zardu Layak, the Crimson Apostle. So he's also a Diabolist, Master of Legion, and so he does what those two do as well.
Nice.
Which is pretty up the guy. +1 to bonus to rolling on Dark Channeling table.
He's also a better Psyker than them.
Yeah, he's a Master level 2.
Huh.
And he can choose from Pyromancy or Malefic Demology. He also unlocks the Ashen Circle as troops, but you have to take Dark Channeling with them. In addition, he has a bolt pistol, a crack grenade, and artificial armor. He's got the Azurda Charis, which is a 2-handed +2 strength, AP4 force staff that lets you reroll a failed attempt at manifesting a psychic power
Nice.
per game. There's only the
Per
once
game?
Yeah, just once per game.
So he's actually quite reliable though, because that save that useful little bit.
Yeah.
is
He's
quite
better than
helpful.
the other two so far.
Very much.
He also gives +1 to combat resolution and sweeping at roll rances +1 within 12,
Okay.
which is nice.
Mm.
What else does he do? He's also a demon.
That's a 5-up in run. Lovely.
Yeah. And
He's only got 2 wounds though.
he boosts all of the
Yeah.
invuln saves by +1 with his powers.
Oh yeah, if you take the right one.
Yeah.
Oh, he gets bodyguards.
Yeah, he gets the Kanatsu called Blade Slaves, which are 3 wound combat things with
Combat
demon.
monsters.
You don't have to save combat monsters. You don't
Oh.
have to read for word.
Okay.
Demon, rage, and will not die. They have a 3-up save otherwise. And the Anakati's blades are AP3 specialist weapons.
Oh,
But they get AP2 if you get a 5 or 6 to wound.
Oh, that's nice.
And they cause 2 wounds instead of 1.
And they have to be saved against separately.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If it's slain from the game, they go, if the character Layak is dead, they go nuts and they charge the nearest thing.
Is it friend or foe? Is it?
It's friend or foe.
Nice. I like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's horribly, but that like you just have to position them.
Yeah. Then we get the 4th one, which is Hol Beloff, which is a Dark Apostle. Captain. He's one of the leaders that attacks Calf.
Oh,
He's a
different.
predator with plasma pistol, tainted weapon, and a mastercrafted power fist. Also with an iron halo, artificer armor,
So 2 up for it.
artificer, and frag and crack. His war trade is bloody-handed, and he gets extortion,
Exaltation.
exaltation of battle, which is everyone in all Wellbearer users get web skill 5 for the turn, I think.
Nope. It just
No,
says,
it just gets it.
he just gives everyone weapon skill 5. That's nice.
I'm pretty sure he just uses it for a turn, but
I would assume it was a turn.
I'd hope so.
And he's got Hexaglyphic Ward, which makes him ignore the first wound that he fails to save in the game.
Oh, cool. Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, it's alright.
Good dude. But he's not a Diablo, so he doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't free up those slots for you.
No.
Yeah.
Then we get 2 demons, but the first one's Samus. He's a Lord of War choice, because you are bros with the demons, and you can use him in this army.
It's also the first demon mentioned in the Horus Heresy series.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Comes up. Yeah. And so forth.
Yeah. I always think of Samus from Metro Prime, though. Or Metro games, really.
Bad Valley.
Yeah. He is a demon of Khorne, but doesn't suffer demonic invincibility, nor summons warp storms.
That's good.
He's got He Will Not Die, Strength, Toughness 7, 6 wounds, Hatred Infantry, Adamantium Will,
And
Fleet.
It's interesting.
He's armed with close combat weapons with AP2 and Murderous Strike, which means it will instant death on a 6, and Armor Bane, but
His fun isn't in combat, which is weird to say for a Khorne demon.
oops, I
Uh-oh.
click buttons.
I've told you not to do that.
Don't
Sorry.
press the red button, Pally.
But it looks so shiny. Anyway, what was it?
He must begin the game in reserves and deep strike to the battlefield.
Yeah.
And if any character dies any turn before he arrives, he can choose a deep strike without scatter within 3 inches of the model that died. That's amazing.
He also,
Wow.
your enemy takes -1 to reserve rolls if it is around. Any blessings used by either side cost an additional warp charge. So you need 2 instead of 1 usually. And he forces anyone charging him to take a leadership test unless they're stubborn or fearless.
Yeah, and because they also have to do it on the fear rolls as well.
Yeah. Korvax Underblight, which is a Nurgle thing.
That's a blight.
Yeah. He's another Lord of War choice. But he doesn't have instability either. He's Nurgle, but he's initiative 9 for some reason.
Good lord.
Wow.
So he's a normal, great, unclean one.
Toughness
stat-wise,
8.
Aside for exchanging an attack for toughness 8, so he's down in attack but gains a toughness. That's pretty cool.
He uses Biomancy and Nurgle's Plague powers.
He has Eternal Warrior.
Which
Jeez.
could the
which
Nurgle-
can give him
yeah,
Eternal
the
Warning.
biomancy can give him eternal.
Oh right, yeah.
In melee, he's got +3 to poison
And the ability to inflict instant death on a 5 to hit
against infantry.
Oh, that's nice.
He's got AP2.
because he's a monster.
Yeah.
And things are bound to die
Gets D3 Hammer of Wrath. Ignores terrain and comes with assault grenades.
This guy
If he
is
dies,
quicker than the corn thing.
He blows up in a massive blast, inflicts poison on a 3-up and AP4. Anyone who's not a Nurgle demon.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And then finally, the worst Primarch ever.
Lorgar.
Yeah.
He's the cheapest until you buy an upgrade, I think.
Yeah.
He can become Lorgar Unbound or
Ascended or
whatever.
whatever.
That's the one. Then I think he goes up to like 400 plus.
Lorgar Transfigured is the word.
Oh yeah, that's the one. Yeah. He's pretty much buffing Primarch rather than a combat one.
He's just a worse Primarch.
Yeah. Everyone uses his leadership, and anyone who can draw sight to him gets a +1 to charge distance, immunity to fear, +1 to their combat resolution as well.
I'm so mad at Daddy because he didn't tell me to stop with me.
Once per game, you can force a single model, enemy model, or unit attacking Lorgar to reroll 5s and 6s to hit and to wound him.
Ah.
He can also deny all failed. He can also reroll all failed, deny the witch rolls. He is a level 2 psyker that can roll on divination telekinesis.
I think that changes when he becomes Ascended.
Yeah.
He
He's
warp charges
on a 5-up unless he's transfigured because he's not as strong.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is. Alternatively, you can upgrade him to Transfigured.
He's 75 points, so he comes 450 points. Oh shit, you know, is that?
You literally just told me off for saying that.
I know.
Actually, I don't think it's complete waste because if you look at it, he
You
has
take
probably
3
one of the
psychic
best
powers.
weapons in the game, which is an AP2 Powerball, which causes concussion. It's strength 8 and ignores any armor.
Master Crafter doesn't smash as well.
He's only useless if you get him at his base level. It sounds like if you get him
but
at
then he jumps up to one of the more expensive Primarchs.
exactly, but for the more expensive, you do get a pretty damn unpleasant Primarch.
He harnesses stuff on a 3-up then.
Yeah,
And he's the master
boosts
level
to
3.
level, yeah.
and as is suggested in this guide, prescience and precognition practically guarantees that he's going to be the dick of the game.
Yeah. He's got a 2-up armor save, 4-up invulnerable save, which increases into a 3-up against witchfires and psychic empowered attacks.
He gets to deny the witch roll on a 3-up.
Yeah.
That's insane.
He's not the biggest. Everyone likes to call him the biggest dick of the game, but in terms of what he
he's
can
just the biggest
do,
dick
No,
of
it's just
himself.
because it's stat wise, he's not the strongest.
his storyline is dickish.
He's also got that pistol though, bro.
Yeah.
Do you need it? He's not. I know you can shoot with it, but honestly, it's not a good
The
pistol.
shootiest Primarch is probably Alfarius with his plasma blaster and Blessed Skill 7.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but what is it?
Oh no, probably.
It's an AP3
Quetzalcoatl,
or-
actually.
No, yeah, he's got those.
His gauntlets,
yeah. And also
better,
he's got blast.
Auto bombardment,
Yeah.
which you can call in.
It's an AP2 or 3 weapon pistol.
It's AP.
Yeah,
Two-
so
Strength
basically,
six. shots.
Strength 6, yeah.
Two shots.
Transfigured Lorgar is only Lorgar.
It's
Yeah.
the only real logo worth taking.
You really want to, yeah.
They can also, their only friends are Sons of Horus
Yeah.
and
Demons.
Demons? Is it demons?
I think it was.
Got out of it?
He can.
Yeah,
Imperial
Imperial
Army and
They can get demons if they take a demonology, dude.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it for this week.
Not the worst Legion, but
No.
Not the
Like,
worst Legion,
the
but
Salamanders last week literally just had me go crazy. Over
yeah,
it. This
did
is
go
not
a
so
bit nuts.
Next week, Sons of Horus or Lunar
much.
Wolves.
Lunar Wolves, best wolves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that probably does it for us for today.
Alright, bye.
It's a little bit weird. It's a
Thanks
little
for
bit
the emails.
yeah. It's a little bit weird that we are like getting to an hour and 40 minutes now these days, rather than 2 hours we were doing at some point.
I think that's
we did that for
because
one
we're
episode.
novice,
Hour and
yeah.
40 seems to be our
No,
limit.
we've got 2 episodes like that.
Do we?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
Well, anyway.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Hope you've all enjoyed yourselves, and we shall catch you next week.
Yeah.
Bye.